have them for
I
yourself.
left him at work.
Nah.
Actually, oh shit, my work computer is a laptop, and I have it here. Just a second.
Ermagerd news. I like it.
Left it at work. I forget I bring work home with me every single day. Hooray for being a software engineer. Now I've got 4 computers up and running. This seems excessive. So we should have... Hooray, we're live now. And we need to spatter this everywhere. OCX. Where does he post this all the time? Like, I don't want to go...
He usually posts it in Podcast Central, and then he posts at OCX, Aces, and then I think he usually hits up Minoc for some reason.
I don't know if I want to spam them too much.
No. He does every week, but I don't know why.
Podcast Central? X-Wing Podcast Central. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that a group? Am I in that group? I'm not in that group. Are you in that group?
Yeah.
Can you add me?
Joined. Chris wants to join. Approve.
Yay, I'm approved.
You have connections.
See all posts. Write something. There we go. Boop. There we go. Let's bring that up. Make sure we... Hooray, we have viewers. Holy cow, they've been yelling for a while. Okay, let's bring that over here. Oh, what is my other password? There we go.
Say it live.
All of my passwords are Star Wars planets, followed by random shit. So, like, or, yeah, and I think we're on, I don't know, on some planet. I'm starting to run out of planets, so I'm going to have to jump to a different scheme.
Especially when you have to change your password like every 3 months.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I've started to forget mine at my job. I have like 6 different things that I needed to sign in because there's 2 different buildings that I work in. Oh, it's getting so bad. I've worked there for 2.5 years now, and with having to change all the passwords every 6 months, I tried to keep them all the same. And in the beginning, it worked great, but now it's not doing so well. So like I have to memorize 4 of them at a time.
Yeah, but back when I was at Raytheon, you had to have a different password for every system, and they couldn't be the same because every system was classified at a different level. So your password was classified at that level, so you couldn't use it at a lower level. And the rules they had for those passwords was completely insane. It was impossible to memorize passwords, like literally impossible. So
but you're not supposed to be found writing them down and leaving them anywhere.
No. So we all ended up writing down our passwords in code. So like we would have something just on our whiteboard of, this is my password. You can't figure it out because that stuff only means something to me. And so, and fortunately it was a way that like I could mentally like increment by 1 every time I changed my password, and the algorithm that I had for my password would just change it. So it got stupid complicated. Heaven forbid you forget your password, type it in wrong too many times, and had to get it reset.
Yeah. Yay, you got locked out of your computer.
Exactly.
Okay,
Uncle
Mark will be here in a minute.
Yay. Hooray, I have notes.
Oh. Trying to think. Do you have the introduction to the podcast written down somewhere or not? Because I lost that in the show notes a long time ago.
Let's see. Let's see how good my memory is. Good morning, X-Wing.
Hey, this is not a test.
Hey, this is not a test. This is OCX radio.
Time to rocket from the Delta Pilot to the 4BZ.
Never understood that. Let me see. And then it was something about Orange City, Iowa.
Coming to you live from downtown Orange City, Iowa. I'm your host, Aaron the Coach Kroll.
And go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Yeah, that was the best.
I'm so glad he read that.
Yeah, and go fuck yourself. What? You guys set me up. Oh, it's teasing us with the weather. It's not -5 out. I felt like busting out the spring jacket today, but
not quite.
It's
that feeling of like the same temperature, whether it was previously warmer or colder, can feel drastically different.
Yeah. Yep. It's amazing how different, what is it, 26 degrees today compared to like -5 feels.
Yeah. Screw that. Why does it get that cold out there in the middle of nowhere?
The winds start blowing. You go out there and like no matter what you wear, it just shreds the heat right off your bones. It's bad.
Huh.
I mean, it gets worse up north, but the wind chill gets pretty terrible around here.
So Mark should be joining us soon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to have dead air, but I want to get started. But I don't want to get started without him. But then again, I don't really have anything to talk about right now. So I'm going to sit here and enjoy my pretzel. They get rid of all the kids at church like halfway through the service on Ash Wednesday, and they all go and make pretzels for everybody. So when you're done, you'll get pretzels. Unless you happen to be like giving up pretzel stuff for Lent. That would suck. Don't be part of that church. For the like 10th year in a row for Lent, I'm giving up kicking midgets. I'm usually successful.
Usually successful at refraining yourself from kicking munchkins.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, I can never come up with something that, maybe I'm just a terrible person. Can't come up with something I want to give up.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, I do a lot of fishing. So we abnormally eat a lot of fish around this house anyway. So it's kind of like, oh, it's Lent. You're forcing yourself to eat fish on Friday. It's like, well, if I eat fish on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, doesn't that count too?
Yeah, I had a friend who
on Friday.
I had a friend who gave up, or gives up, like anything that's like excessive sugar every year. And man, like she is crazy good at it. Like I don't know how she manages to do it. There's like no candy, no soda, there's nope, nothing.
That's because when she goes home, she rolls in a bed full of candy bars and nobody else knows but her.
Maybe.
Because you don't know what goes on when she's not around.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Waiting for Uncle Mark.
Come on, Uncle Mark.
You can do it.
Hmm. Uh,
How many listeners we got? 14 already. That's pretty cool. We haven't even started the show.
and they're all bored.
They're all bored just watching us sit around. Well, I got some news for an update on alt art cards. Got a hold of a artist and have him working on our first alt art card. I'm not going to give away any secrets at this point in time, but there is going to be something to present by the end of the week for the podcasters to look at and critique until we get our final product. So
I'm excited.
I am too. I really am. I've known this guy for a really long time. I've seen a lot of his work. He does really good. I haven't yet still to get a hold of the second artist yet. He's a busy guy. He lives all the way in Seattle, Washington. He's a friend of mine from back in school. Hell of a good artist as well. He still posts pictures of stuff he does all the time on his Facebook profile. And he used to draw a lot of Invader Zim, does a lot of like anime sketches of his own and stuff like that. So he can do everything from like an anime look to a regular look to a comic book look. He's really good. So it just depends on what kind of style we want from him. Once again, not giving away any spoilers on what those cards are going to be for alt arts, but once we get the art, we'll proudly display them.
So, somebody online asked me about my hockey jersey. I think I've mentioned it before, but if you go to, let me make sure I got the website right. Okay, go to geekyjerseys.com. And so this is my X-Wing one. And on the back, this is Dameron. You can, if you get in early enough, you can personalize them. They do like everything from Batman to Star Wars. They just came out with a V for Vendetta jersey, a whole bunch of ones for Game of Thrones, like any of those families that you're interested in. They got one for that. So go ahead and check it out. Really nice quality. It's not stitched. It's like bled in there. So they can just pump them out really easy. The actual patches are real patch material. So that's actually sewn on. The shoulder patches are patched on. The numbers are patched on. So really nice jerseys. I also have a Stormtrooper one that the name on it is TK, and then they put 421.
Ooh.
So that's my my Stormtrooper one. I have another friend who's got like 8 of these, and if I had enough money, I would get a whole shit ton of them too. But they're really nice, high quality. They're usually around like $100 though. Like there's a the team name is the Falcons, and it's got Solo on the back. It's $99. It might go up if you get one of the big ones. No, it doesn't. So whatever size you want, and you can put whatever name, whatever number you want on it. Right now, like I said, they're older ones. Once they get a whole bunch made, you can just get like the static name and number that they advertise with. But if you get in there early enough, you can get whatever you want to. Like this one, it says Dameron because I got it way late. But the TK421, I had that one special made. So go there, super awesome. I recommend it. Somebody asked what beer I'm drinking. I have a Sam Adams Chocolate Bock. This is a really fucking good beer. So Sam Adams, they always their sampler packs, they knock them out of the park. So I recommend it if you're just looking for a smattering of stuff to drink. That's kind of my go-to.
For all those who are used to me drinking Miller High Life Light because it's super cheap, you can get a 6-pack of it or a 30-pack of it for $7. I'm actually drinking Miller Lite tonight. The name brand stuff.
I have a whole bunch of friends that are into craft beers, so they've drugged me so far out of the light beer area that I'd like at least they'll let me drink this without insulting me. But it's been so long since I've had just like a standard light beer. Like I still enjoy them, but like the first one I have to reorient my brain to it. Like this is different. Yeah, for anybody wondering, it's Ash Wednesday. That's why I got the stuff. So go look it up if you're interested. It was really weird having a sermon of Happy Valentine's Day, you know, love and happiness, and you're gonna die one day. Like, oh shit.
Yep. So love as best as you can.
Pretty much.
See the person sitting next to you, you love them. They're going to die as well.
Mark, are you on? Are you just muted? I see your picture.
Later.
Almost there. Now Hangouts is fucking with me. Oh, Mark. Come on, Mark. I believe in you.
Take my energy. Take some of my internet connection.
So because Coach isn't here, we have to act a little more crazy, right? That's how this works?
Oh, God. I thought I acted crazy enough on last week's podcast. With all the D-Way and the
oh, man.
references.
One of my friends is in a curling league. And we went to his curling place yesterday to learn. They're doing learn to curl like all through the Olympics. So we went and did that, and the entire time I'm looking at the instructor going, show me the way to curl this stone. I think I was driving him a little crazy.
Show me
the way. It was a lot of fun, and they have a bar in the curling arena. So it's like you just go there, throw rocks around, and drink a bunch of beer. I was like, this sounds like wonderful fun. Why do not everybody do this?
Well, it's kind of like bowling, but on ice.
Right.
And they make it look more sophisticated.
I tell you what, though, it is hard work because like when they launch off and they're like holding it and then just let go, like as soon as you launch off, your body just wants to fall over. So you're frantically trying to stay up, and you're using the rock to stabilize yourself, and you're like, I gotta let go of this damn thing eventually, and aim it right, and put a little twist on it. So not easy. And then the other people are basically sprinting down the ice, chasing a rock that's too heavy to stop, with brooms and getting yelled at. So yeah, not easy, but loads of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Those things weigh what, like 42 pounds?
Yeah, they're super heavy. Uh, but once you get them moving, they just keep going, and those rinks are like bonkers long. It's like the length of an ice arena for hockey.
I can't remember exactly how we got on the subject of curling, but what was this? What were we talking about before that?
Uh, you were mentioning last week with the Ugandan knuckles, and then I was mentioning how
That
I
you
was
were using
obnoxious with
D-Way?
Ugandan knuckles as
I've
they
got
showed
a,
me the way.
I've got a bunch of people now at work going around going, "Do you know D-Way?"
That's
Look, my
awesome.
brothers, the Queen.
Do you have to tape your shoes? I don't know what tape you're talking about, but they have these rubber like slipper things that you put over your shoes so that you can stand on the ice and it kind of grips it. Uh, and then they have a another slipper that's Teflon on the bottom, so you slide easier. Uh, so one foot is Teflon, one foot is grippy. So it's a lot of fun. If you got a place in your town that does it, I'd highly recommend getting a hold of them and going out at least for a learn day. Uh, my wife says that I can't do it until I quit playing hockey. She said only one hobby on ice. I'm like,
Oh,
oh. It's like, but I like hockey more. But all my friends do curling because they can't play hockey.
they will show you D-Way.
Hmm. Yeah, Robert Monroe's up in Michigan. Yeah, they've got a group up there in I think Kalamazoo, that they come down and do tournaments with the Fort Wayne guys. So there's a lot of places in the Midwest picking it up and doing stuff. So
Yeah, they just started a league up in Sioux Falls, which is an hour and a half away north of here. So that's the closest curling that's done near Orange City.
no, that's what you get for living in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, literally the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It always gets me during the intro when you say from downtown Orange City, Iowa. I was like, do you really have a downtown? Or is it,
Yeah,
or
it's
is
about
it just
3 blocks.
one building?
It's like 3 blocks long. It's not very big. That's why it's like, well, Kyle's probably still in Orange City. And I'm like, no, I'm 12 minutes south. But for Iowa, you can still consider me in Orange City.
Okay. Okay. Mark says that his headphones now work, but now he's not on here. Beer is superior, thus curling. Give up hockey. You think I'm sober when I'm playing hockey? You're delusional. There is plenty of beer in the locker room. I'll assure you of that. So that is not a concern. Although we can't drink in the parking lot anymore. They put up signs saying no drinking in the parking lot, which I said you're dumb. And then somebody promptly stole the signs, and they put up new signs. So it's a little bit of a war right now.
So we're half hour late. We're waiting for Mark to get his computer running.
Yeah. At some point, do we just want to get started and he'll jump in when he jumps in?
We'll give him until 10 o'clock.
So
7 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I figured without Coach, we'd be done early.
I believe in Mark's computer.
I believe it can show us the way.
His computer will show us the way right into the trash.
Yeah, did you see that picture he posted of it?
Yeah, what the
Uh,
hell? That's like my HP computer like 13 years ago.
we should really have him record his rant first because he's going to be so pissed off when he finally gets on.
Yeah, he'll get the full steam.
Yeah. And so since we're doing town hall, he's just going to have to pull straight from YouTube, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
His computer smells like Ebola. His computer is warming up, he says. It's booting. He sees the screen.
Yeah. Well, once we get enough filthy internet dollars, we'll just buy him a computer.
On Blitz Day, we'll get him a laptop for like $50. That's 1,000 times better than the one he's using.
Yes. He says, "Getting there." I don't believe you. I'll believe you when it pops up. So I guess I ought to actually pop up the article here. So I have to have a moment to rant about these damn cards. Because
card. And I love ranting.
Did everybody find the error in the article? There were 2 of them. I found 2. Did anybody find more than that? As there was in the first paragraph under Saw's Renegades expansion, it said both pre-painted and stunning red and black paint scheme. Like, that is not red. It's like, who was screwing with the colorblind guy at FFG? Like, who was screwing with them? But they quickly changed it to black and white. And then also the U-Wing, the cardboard template under it was just an X-Wing template, just blown up. It was like, whoa, wow.
That thing's super valuable for its points.
Just big base X-Wing. Sure.
Woo! Fixed it. Now you get a small one and a big one.
Mark's turning on Audacity. Don't waste your time. We don't need Audacity.
That's the best part about these town hall ones is the fact that we don't need Audacity and have to upload our files.
Yeah, but then it makes it worse for Montana.
Yeah.
But, like, thankfully the quality on YouTube isn't awful. So
you can tell a slight difference, but it's not huge.
Yeah. So what did anybody listen to the Gold Squadron town hall last night? Like, I completely missed it, so I didn't get to get the rundown.
Oh, I didn't even see an update on my Facebook. Usually I get invited to that. I'm gonna have to give him static about it. Maybe he's disowned me. Zach Matthews says he listened to it last night in our chat.
Oh, Zach Matthews is here. Maybe I should rant about him. I don't have much to rant about Zach Matthews. He's okay. Actually, like, Cratecast wasn't too incredibly ridiculous. I mean, they had a solid hour of calling people bad, which is annoying, but it was still better than Kessel Run. holy cow, Kessel Run people, like, get your act together. It was 2.5 hours of Jeremy Tremblay, just like blackout rage face, and other people who happen to be on the podcast with him just going, "Yep, okay." It's like, oh, that was tough to get through. Like, but at least we have news now, so people can actually talk about future and not be angry at the past. Oh, Zach, Kessel Run was not even tolerable. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, we're starting this thing. So do you want to do the intro, or it's like you're usually bringing up the rear. You don't get to do the intro.
Yeah, I've only done it once. Oh! Look at that! With 1 minute to spare,
like 10 seconds to spare. More like it. Okay, Mark. It's 10 o'clock. We're starting. You're muted, but hopefully you're here at least. Oh, God damn it, Zach. Zach, you're one of those people. I'm not dealing with you. I'm not dealing with it. We'll get to that later.
If I don't get it right on the first time, they can always just edit it out and go with the second one. That's the best part about it. I only have to deal with the people that are listening live making fun of me for screwing it up.
You just screw it up, just roll with it.
That's
if you
right.
make me do it, I will purposely screw it up.
Oh, man. All right, hold on. Good morning, X-Wing. Hey, this is not a test. This is OCX Radio coming to you live from downtown Orange City, Iowa. Rocking it from the Delta Pilot to the 4BZ. This is your host, Kyle the Sloot Stooce, and joining me from Indiana, Darth Chico Brown.
Yes, I am here. I am angry, and we're going to get through this.
All right. Waiting in the dark around that shadowy corner is a guy that we call Uncle Mark, and he will be on to say hello whenever he gets his computer up and running. And we all know how that goes. We love you, Uncle Mark. We're waiting patiently.
He said he's here. He's just muted. So he'll jump in whenever he wants to. Hey, so before we really get going too crazy, I wanna take a moment and thank everybody because we launched up our Patreon last week, and we're like, depending upon whose math you use, we've already kind of hit our first goal, which is amazing. I wasn't expecting that, so you guys are awesome.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
We can take a holiday.
We can't take a holiday. We got to keep earning.
Yeah,
we're like obligated now to be like quality and shit.
Yeah, and that's scary.
But we're already started on talking to some artists about putting out some alt arts just to give something back, because that's what we want to do. And Montana has started machining some coins himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what we do.
If you jumped onto that bracket, he's doing that thing. So I've seen some pictures, and they look pretty cool. They say get another beer on one side. I imagine the other side's gonna have the OCX radio logo, so you can flip a coin while you're drinking and be like, oh, gotta get another beer. Coin said so. That's what I plan on doing, at least. So that should be a good time. So thanks everybody for the support, and I hope you like what we do, because I'm enjoying it. So, what are we doing today, Kyle?
You're going to talk about some effing news that finally dropped after a
What?
long
We
drought of
finally have news?
salt and hate and bashing of people that play the game and how degenerate they are for flying certain lists. Let's talk about some positivity and future moving forward in the
Do
game.
do you think it's a coincidence? They put it out 66 days since the last wave dropped. It's like it's like
I
order
see where you're going
66.
with this. Yeah, I see where you're going with this. Only a few will survive, and then we will have Darth Vader hunt them down.
Yeah, it was a little crazy though. Like part of me wasn't really expecting it to drop for a little while longer because we had we've got Legion coming, and Legion, like I feel like they want our pockets
Hello?
empty for Legion. So, hey Mark, we heard you, and I can see you.
Hello?
Hi Mark.
Hi, Mark.
We can hear you.
Yes, it's
me
not a
off.
lie.
You can't hear us? Can you not
No, I
hear
can't.
us? Oh, dagnabbit. Turn up the volume. What is he? Is he just... Okay. So yeah, this was the longest break we've had in news since wave 2 to 3. The gap between wave 2 releasing and wave 3 announcement was 65 days or close to that, something like that. Anyways, so it's been bonkers long, and I kind of expected it was because they wanted our pockets to be nice and filled with money for Legion. So if you notice, there was nothing for the next wave of Armada. There's nothing for the next wave of Imperial Assault. We finally got some news of X-Wing. So like I was really thinking they were just going all in on Legion.
That's what we had been talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Which,
why haven't we gotten any news? Because they don't want to have you saving money for a game. They want you to try out Legion. So why would they
yeah, because
spoil it?
part of me thinks that that the failure of Rune Wars was that people were just like so into buying like so much Armada, so much Imperial Assault, so much X-Wing that there wasn't anything to jump into the other one. So like Rune Wars looked cool, like it looked really cool. I'm kind of a mediocre painter, so like painting things like Rune Wars was okay for me. But painting something Star Wars, I would really want it to be like damn near flawless, because like when they put out those articles, they look awesome. And I know it's not going to be painted, so I'm going to want to paint it that awesome, and I know I can't, and that makes me sad. So like I don't mind painting my Imperial Assault, like they're small enough, and my stormtroopers look awful. But
so now that we've talked about Order 66 and why they have been so long since we haven't heard any releases or anything like that. But what is the news, Chico? What is the news?
So we've got one new ship, the TIE Reaper. It's basically the shuttle version of the TIE Striker. And then we also have the Saws Renegades expansion pack. So it's kind of like an Aces pack. It's a U-Wing and a T-65 X-Wing.
No, it's basically let's update the T-65 with a bonus ship you didn't want.
Yeah, to be honest, like, how many people are out there that really need another T-65? But maybe there's somebody out there who got into this game like super early or super late, like after the second core set came out. And maybe they don't have enough T-65s. So hooray for them.
It's the best way for FFG to sell the U-Wing model that they have excess of, and then give you the upgrades you've always wanted in the same pack.
well, hopefully it'll be damn worth it. So hell, let's dive right in. So let's talk about that Saw pack. So for any of those who don't know, Saw's Renegades refers to Saw Gerrera from Rogue One, even though there wasn't a U-Wing in that movie at all.
There wasn't a what?
There wasn't a U-Wing.
A
That
U-Wing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He didn't
Yeah,
use one.
he
No.
didn't have a U-Wing.
No.
And yeah, so I don't know why they're attributing it to him, other than the fact that crap, we need to find a reason to put another U-Wing out there with upgrades that make it better. So so they did this. I don't know what the alternative would have been. So anyways, so we got them. Neat paint jobs. I like it. One thing that a lot of people are kind of like cautiously optimistic. In the box, it looks like.
Hello.
Hi, Mark. I can hear you. I can hear you, Mark. Can you hear me? Flip off the camera if you can hear me. Nope, he's gone. Okay.
God. He's just gonna like sabotage the whole podcast.
Right.
It's awesome.
So anyways, in the package, the X-Wing model looks like it has its wings closed. Which like would be awesome. Because the title that's in there that we'll get to is the S-foils open and close. So that would be just freaking baller if you could actually open and close the X-Wing. Like that would be really cool. So who knows if they've managed to do that. Like just looking at that X-Wing model, I don't know how they managed to do it to where it stays open correctly and closes correctly without just getting all wackadoo. So I'm cautiously optimistic about that. I mean it's in the same pack with a U-Wing that does it already. So I hope so. I think that'd be really cool. What do you think?
If the wings open and closed?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really too.
No.
That stuff.
I like little stupid stuff like that. That's why, like, first thing I did when I got a B-Wing, like my first B-Wing, like I set it on the base and I was like, that's dumb. B-Wings fly sideways. And I literally grabbed it and went, and like I just heard plastic cracking as I turned it sideways. Now, fortunately, that plastic was soft enough that it just twisted, and it sat that way pretty good for a while until finally it started wiggling, and eventually my B-Wing just fell off, and then that's when I finally got magnets and put it on there. So yeah, from day one, I was like, this freaking B-Wing needs to fly sideways, and I've done a couple mods with a couple other things. But I've never been able to do the X-Wing one. I know some people have ones that they just basically clamped it shut, glued it, and poof, it's closed. But opening and closing seems extremely difficult. So, the other one that's really popular is the scum ship. Why am I losing it? My brain's broken. Help me, Stoos.
We're talking about scum
Star
ships
Viper. The Star
Yeah.
Viper. Yeah. So they have it where it like goes back like it's going really fast, and the massive drag of space is pulling it the wings back. Because sure,
the air is pushing back on it. It needs to be more aerodynamic.
So yeah, but yeah, a lot of those ones are like fan made. So like when the U-Wing came out, I thought that was super cool.
What about the Fang Fighter too? Some of them have the rotating wings on them.
Oh yeah, my buddy I play with, Luke, he has one that he set up on a little ball bearing, and then he took his airbrush and without any paint in it, just pumped air at it, and it just sat there and just like crazy fast. So that thing spins like crazy. But yeah, I mean they did it like way early on with the Lambda, and I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So anytime they can like add in little extras to make a move, I think that's awesome.
So you're hoping that because of that little box picture that the wings open and close on the
Yeah,
X-wing.
that'd be awesome. I
Uh,
love little things like that. Just little extra bullshit that makes me feel like I'm getting something
so what do you
out
think the
of this
price
new
point on
model.
this thing is going to be, Chico?
Oh, they already have the price point posted.
And what is that?
That one's 40, and the TIE Reaper is 30.
Okay,
Uh,
so you're getting a large base and a small base shipped for $40.
yeah, which is right about what I expect.
Mm-hmm.
The TIE Reaper is going into that same camp, right, with the TIE Silencer of first thing I'm going to do when I get it is I'm going to take it out and I'm going to throw it in my $20 blister pack I got sitting downstairs and just rage for a second, because I'm one of those people that I extremely disagree. Is like, but it won't fit in the $20 blister pack. It's like the silencer definitely did. I imagine this one will too. But it's got so many cards. Yeah, thank God they gave us another decoy and 2 systems officers. Thank Holy hell, are you kidding me? Uh I am completely okay with paying $30 for a ship, but throw some stuff in there. Like, make it cool. Give me give me a mission that I'll never play. I mean, something. I mean, they didn't even give us a jam reference card. I mean, you could have put that in there. But anyways, we'll get to that.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So, well, I guess my rant's out of the way, anyways. But I mean, minor rant. I mean, it's going to amount to I'm only going to get one. Like just like with the TIE Silencer, I only got one. Probably would have gotten 2 if it was $20, but eh, that's just me. Other people may do different things.
So let's
Uh,
talk about some of these upgrade cards that we can actually make out.
yeah. Well, let's start up on the Saw expansion. And first thing I wanted to look at was the U-Wing. So for the U-Wing, we can't see any of the cards. We know there's
Yeah.
a PS6 and a PS5. That's all we got.
And 2
Uh,
pilot skill 1s.
no, like we can't even see any pilot skill ones. Those are
Oh, those are
X-Wings.
X-wings.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yep.
So, so who the hell knows on that front? But like I imagine they've got to have something because they've got 2 cardboard tokens there, so there's got to be something on the other side. Uh, so yeah, there's 2 of them. We know the pilot names. One Saw Gerrera, the other one's that Mag something, whatever his name is.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find it on Wikipedia or something. But so those 2 characters. So we don't really know a whole lot about what's going on with the U-Wing right now. They gave us another pivot wing, so hooray! You don't have to be pissed off that you don't have an extra pivot wing title to go with it. I know that would infuriate me if they gave me a U-Wing but wanted me to go back and buy the other U-Wing to have one. God, that'd be dumb. But anyways,
I find it really cool that they put a U-Wing in here. They come out with 2 new pilots for it. You take a look down here at all the upgrades. They have the targeting scrambler. They have the pivot wing, which we all know that comes with the U-Wing. And I think there's 2 more cards back there that start with the TH and then go with the core or whatever. And those probably are going to be the other upgrade for the U-Wing.
Yeah,
and
that one, from what I understand, and this is just from crazy speculation, is Marcel's card from winning Gen Con in 2016.
All right.
And my guess is it's a sensor card, but if you look at the top, it doesn't have anything of any restrictions. So I'm kind of scared it's just going to be a sensor that, hooray, cool, that works on the U-Wing, but it's probably better on other stuff.
Yeah, better on something else.
So we'll see. I mean, they could give something that's just so damn good for the U-Wing that it helps it.
So what we're basically saying here is hopefully these 2 new pilots and the targeting scrambler fix the U-Wing for competitive play.
No. Targeting scrambler definitely doesn't. Let me get into that one. So targeting scrambler, for people who don't know, At the start of the planning phase, you will receive a weapons disabled token to choose a ship at range 1 to 3 and assign it the scrambled condition. So you can't shoot, and you're giving a condition to somebody. And the condition is when attacking a ship at range 1 that is equipped with targeting scrambler, you can't modify your attack dice. So if you're expecting somebody to dive in range 1 and you can't do a damn thing about it and you know you're not going to get a shot at them, then you can stop them from having their mods and leave it up to variance. Is that worth the slot? I mean, it's 0 points, so just throwing it in there,
well, you know, considering the fact that a lot of people use collision detector on a PALP shuttle, this would definitely work better on a PALP shuttle than collision detector.
Right. It could be decent filler instead of the collision detector. Now, personally, I like collision detector on the PALP shuttle because it allows me to just throw debris out there and just run over it without caring. Because I can just not worry about going around asteroids. I can just plow through things, gum up the works, and I'm fine with that. So that's probably still what I'll use on that. For this scrambler, like I was trying to figure out a way to use it legitimately defensively. And you know, maybe if you put it on 4BZ and had 4 of them, no, you can't because it's unique. Fuck, that's dumb. So because I was thinking if you had it on every one of your B wings and one of them stops, you know, all that and goes up to block, then they don't have mods attacking the other ones. But no, that's dumb because it's unique.
It's unique. Mind. Fuck, that's dumb.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Hello.
God, I so hate that. Like,
it's unique. What the fuck? Unless there's a pilot that, you know, helps it out with the new U-Wings. That's just crazy. I want to also point out that they came out with 5 of the pilot skill 1. Yeah, we can hear you, Mark.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear us? Turn up the volume.
That's what you need to do, Mark. Turn up the volume.
Huh.
I can hear you breathing, Mark.
At the top. And change your headphone setting.
So it gets me pretty excited that they're actually, with the fact that you're getting 5 pilot skill 1 X-Wing pilot skill cards, that makes me think that they're going to be like 18 point a piece. That way you can put like a cheap astromech on them and something else.
Well, what's the red? What's the rookie pilot?
It's like 21 points, I think. It's like 21.
Okay, let's go down to T65 X-Wing. Rookie, 21 points. So, bam. I mean, at least it's going to be 20. Hopefully it's 19, so you can throw a 1 point astromech on there. So,
I said 18, so yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. But like, if it's 20, that'll make me sad. But 19, I'd be happy. 18, I'd be happier.
Mm-hmm.
So at 19, you could do 5 of them with flight assist. That'd be pretty nuts.
Awesome.
And all of them with integrated, so that's giving them extra. So I mean that'd be pretty cool. So before we go too crazy into that, one thing, so somebody was mentioning online that they thought, oh, they're giving you a whole bunch of PS1s. I wonder if that's going to be scum ships so that you can fly X-Wings as scum. The answer, I bet, is no. Because there's no dials, there's no other tokens for scum, and every time they've done crossover, they've included stuff for the crossover. So,
right, and you can see that the back paint job is red, which means it's Rebel.
Right. Yeah, it's still in the format of that. So yeah, it's just going to be a whole bunch of PS1s. So that'll just make a cheap filler even cheaper, which is good. Not going to complain about that.
Better than an A-Wing.
Yeah, and then we've got 3 unique pilots. 2 of them we don't know anything about, and then there's the higher pilot skill 1 that says after you perform a booster barrel roll action, you can flip your equipped servo motor S-foils upgrade card. So that's just adding versatility to flipping a dual card, which is always good. And since barrel roll and boost are on opposite sides of that dual card, which I guess we'll get to soon, you can do something like push the limit and barrel roll, flip the card, boost, flip the card again. So you can do stuff like that. That'd be really cool. So there's options for that. At PS7, it's going to be hard for this guy to really be like a really cool ace. And like even if you put VI on him up to PS9, unless the war of pilot skill drops for some reason, it's going to be rough. So I suppose we should get down to that, the title and that dual card.
Yep.
The title we can see, it's Ren something something R something something. I'm gonna call it and say it's Renegade Refit. So what I'm guessing it does, like based on what you can read on there, it says you may something something modification.
You may equip another modification.
Right. I think at least it says that. So basically it's saying you get your S-foils and something else. Now, it'll be interesting to see what people say about auto thrusters, because only one of the cards lets you have boost in your upgrade bar.
Wait a minute. Are the S-foils a modification or a title?
Modification.
Oh, boy.
So the title's allowing you to have more than one modification. So it's letting you have the S-foils and something else. So I'm wondering S-foils, and if somebody tries to do auto thrusters, but then if they flip the dual card, like is it okay to equip it with potentially only half the dual card? Hopefully they explain that. I haven't put too much thought into it. It's weird. I mean, just like if you put adaptability on a ship that had some restrictions saying you have to be a certain pilot skill to have this thing, but then when you get to the game, you're like, I'm gonna flip it down and lower my pilot skill, and it's like, can you do that and still have the other thing equipped? So really weird situation. I wonder how that's gonna go. But so the Renegade Refit, our guess is allowing you to have another modification other than the S-foils. They give you 3 of those that I can see.
There's 4 of them. There's one next to the scrambled condition card, and then there's 3 of them to the right of the pivot wing.
No, I'm talking about the title, the Renegade Refit.
Yeah.
I only see 3 of those, and then 4 of the S-foils, and then 5 of the PS1s.
Which doesn't make any sense.
But whatever. They want us to buy more. Oh well. Yeah. So the S-foils. Now I'm gonna go to what somebody was able to zoom in, and they filled in with just blatant speculation on what they think it is. But I think based on just staring at it, it seems like logical. I imagine they probably have something small messed up, but I bet it's close. So they're saying T65 X-Wings only modification, which, sorry, but the way that they're going to make it work, and I hope to God they put this out in an FAQ before day one, just like they did with the TIE Aggressor and the IG-2000 title. The original X-Wing is the T65, and God, that's annoying how many people have told me, oh, it doesn't work, you can't use it day one, blah, blah, blah. Sure, you have fun in your little play group and don't use it. Sure. So what they're saying is with the S-foils closed, you reduce your primary weapon value by 1. Your action bar gains boost. And so those 2 are fairly easy to pull off by looking at the fuzzy card text.
Well,
But
that's
then
what I got from it.
right, the next party has is harder to read from that, and I think he's filling in a lot of speculation. So we'll see. He says treat your white straight maneuvers as green maneuvers, which okay, so they're basically saying with the S foils closed, you can go super fast because you're boosting a lot. Your straights are green,
You're more
and
aerodynamic in
yeah,
space.
but then it's harder for you to shoot, so your primary weapon value is dropped. Okay, I get that. And then they're saying that the flip is going to be at the end of the combat phase. Whatever, they'll tell us to flip it when they want us to flip it. So then the other with the S foils open, they're basically saying with the S foils open, you're more maneuverable. So your action bar gains barrel roll, and then uh, the whole next paragraph is essentially somehow you're going to get talon rolls, and we can see zooming in on the fuzzy bits that there's a talon roll icon on there.
Yep.
So
3
somehow there's
talon
going to be talon rolls, but he basically says if you're not stressed when you reveal a hard 2 or 3, either way, you can instead perform a talon roll of the same direction. So
which
cool.
might be a little messed up, but what else do we have to go on?
Right. So somehow we're going to be able to do talon rolls, which I think is super cool. And then also, flip it at probably the same trigger as the other card. So yeah, essentially one side is making you super fast. The other side is making you super maneuverable, and allow you to do some, more wacky things. I think that's really cool. I don't know how much this straight fixes the X-Wing. I think it'll make we don't know if this has any points associated to it. I hope not. We don't know if the Renegade refit has any points associated to it. I also hope not.
Right, you would hope so. I was
but-
thinking that maybe there would be like a point decrease, but with the one pilots maybe coming in at like 18 or 19, I doubt it.
Right. Or maybe that's why they'll put it at 20 and then
Decrease it by like 1 or 2.
yeah.
Okay.
So who knows? I think the ships that are really excited about this are Wes and Wedge. Wes and Wedge have always been right on the border of being good. Like everybody's always said, Wedge needs more maneuverability. This title will give it to it. Wes is good as long as he's able to point at things. This will give him more maneuverability, allow him to point at things. I don't think this is going to make like Biggs extra awesome unless you're just using the one side that lets you just be super fast.
But what about the main one, Chico? Everybody wants to know if this is the expansion that's going to bring Jack Porkins into the meta.
Jack Porkins? God. Well, with talon rolls, but my guess is no. Like, because it is still just painful having that 3/8 chance of taking a face down damage card. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love me some Jack Porkins, not as the pilot in this. Yeah. Like Luke Skywalker, he's I don't know if this will do a whole hell of a lot for him. I don't know about anybody else. I mean, like when I always pull up these expansions, I always look at what's good and is this going to make them better. And like Wes and Wedge, I think it's going to make them better. Will it bring them into being awesome? I don't know. I think the people who have used them will continue to use them. I don't know if anybody's going to go back to it.
So if you take a look at the crew, not saw, it says after defending.
Yeah, my guess for that card is after defending, you may acquire a target lock on the attacker because you can see the word acquire.
Yep.
So it's got to be a target lock.
Yep. The attacker.
So that's what I'm guessing that is, which is a good deterrent, but I wouldn't be using that as my main scheme of okay, here's my plan. I'm gonna go in there and somebody's gonna shoot me. Nobody goes in with that plan. That's just unrealistic. I don't think anybody wants that as their plan.
No,
So
nobody wants that
like
as their plan.
hopefully that's a dirt cheap filler card that you can throw in there and then hooray, if I get shot, whatever.
You can put it on
And
a low skill
yeah,
something.
or put it on something that's like a low pilot skill,
Mm-hmm. That's what I just
like
said.
tanky ship,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can be like, go ahead, shoot him, and then you're just using it as a deterrent. So that's about where that is.
You could have Saw Gerrera on there too with advanced proton torpedoes. And that way you could change 3 of the eyeball results that you can do into critical hit results for 1 damage.
Right. So Saw, the way that I'm seeing Saw going to be used, is something that can regen. Because nobody likes taking damage like without getting it back or getting some massive benefit from it. That's why like quick draw, there's people who are like, yeah, sure, give me 1 damage, I'll shoot you. And they're like, I'm fully tokened up, you're going to get hurt. But is Saw going to be worth it? You're going to want to put him on somebody who's either got a lot of health or has regen. So people have mentioned R2D2 on arcs. So Nora, Nira, whichever
That's
one
what
it
I
is.
was just going to say. Nora is the one that you can spend the target lock to add a focus, right?
Yeah, and then yeah, and then with her, you won't need push the limit anymore because you basically have that focus sitting there.
Correct.
Or you just use the push the limit and just use it on defense more. But Miranda, if she's not stuck with Sabine, you could have it on there. But that ability on probably TLTs, unless you're just really wanting to trigger those harpoons you have sitting there. On the bright side, Saw Gerrera can't be stopped by Fen or Hotshot Copilot, so there's that. What else is there?
That's pretty good.
Hawks with Pulse Ray Shield.
Oh boy.
You
could change your attack of primary 1.
Well, you'd probably be doing it with like TLTs, but
I know. I'm just
that seems rough. R2D2 cruise ships. That's another.
Nobody's seen
those
that
are
in a long time.
Yeah, those are less effective. So I doubt we'll see it on that. So it's like interesting. Like I'm glad it's just 1 point. I think back in the early days they would have made that like 3 or 4 points and nobody would have touched it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they at least priced it accordingly. So that's good.
So would you think about putting him on like what is it, 10 nub? The B-Wing pilot?
I think there's easier ways to get crits onto 10 nub. And only 1 crit can't be canceled on 10. So using something like Mangler Cannon is plenty. You don't need to be taking damage on a B-Wing to change all of yours to crits.
I'm just throwing out random ideas.
Right, but I disagree with that one.
I get it. I understand. I'm just
So anything else in this pack? Oh man. So something I think a lot of people missed and is completely underrated. We've hit target lock YYZZ. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How is everybody not more excited about that?
Now we're gonna get triple letters.
No. I am really hoping they just stop doing target locks. Because if you look, they've stopped finally doing number tokens. They're done with number tokens. Both of these expansions, no numbers. Thank you.
Sweet.
There are plenty of shield tokens in this pack for people like Zach Matthews who don't have enough. But everything else you need in there. So just had to get that dig in there because he's listening, sucker. So I think that covers that pack. Okay. So TIE Reaper. I actually had to go and Google this because I didn't recall seeing this ever in the movie, but evidently it was on screen for like a split second.
It was.
Yeah. I got to go back and rewatch the movie because I'm going to see it and be like, oh my gosh, it really was. Because
I always said that there was a ship that I'd seen that looked way different than the TIE Striker that you could see for a little bit in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they were actually going to come out with the ship, but I guess they did come out with the quad jumper. So
a ship that was on screen for only a moment. But something I found interesting about this is that we're seeing a bit of a pattern of they're getting more of like an evil look to these Empire ships, and it kind of started with Kylo Ren's shuttle, where it had the red windshield, and then they added that to the AT-ATs that were on Crate. They're in this now. It's like everything's got like that squinty-eyed red windshield, and like to make them all look evil. Instead of like the standard TIE windshield, or just having something plain and useful like the Lambda shuttle had. Is that a phone call?
Yeah. What was that?
Mark? Mark, are you calling us?
I'm so confused right now. I haven't heard a regular phone ring in forever.
Is somebody playing some Adele?
It would have to be. It would have to be Mark. He would be the only one that has a landline.
Oh, Mark. There it is again. Mark. He can't hear us. I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think he can hear us at all.
That's awesome. Okay, so this TIE Reaper. So this is another one of those ships that makes me super sad that there isn't a medium base. Like this, the silencer and the U-wing. It's like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we have a medium base?
At a medium pace?
No, medium base.
At a medium pace.
No, base, like square. Or are you just mocking me? Bastard.
I wanted to hear you say it a couple of times. That way we could then like incorporate the Adam Sandler's medium pace.
Oh God. So yeah, I wish it was a little bigger, but oh well. The model looks cool.
I would agree with that. The model looks sexy.
Yeah, definitely. So what we can see from the dial, it's got a red hard 2, so it's not going to be like super bonkers maneuverable like people are hoping for a new Palp shuttle. It's like, oh, thank God, a new Palp shuttle that I can hard 2. It's like, nope, sorry. But
just crush your dreams right now.
Right. But the PS6 has an EPT slot. You can put Adrenaline Rush in there. You can do a white hard 2. Yeah.
For
feel
one
it.
time.
You know you want to.
Yes. It's only 1 point. No, Palpatine only needs that one turn. And now you have the opportunity at the cost of your EPT slot in 1 point.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what people put on that EPT slot. So on this ship, we've got 3 attack dice. That's good. Can't complain about that one. 1 evade die. So just like the Lambda shuttle. 6 hull and 2 shields. So
hey, it's a Key Nagita for the Empire.
Right. It's only 8 health instead of 10. So the reason we're comparing this to the Lambda is because this has 2 crew slots. So everybody sees 2 crew slots and they go, "Oh, Palpatine," because that's the crew to do. So with a new Palpatine shuttle, this thing has 2 less health, which who wants 2 less health? But when you look at this, it's got focus and
I still
evade.
can't hear you. The
We
phone
can
ringing
hear
was
you.
the
Oh,
test into
Jesus.
my headset that says everything's working fine. However, I can't hear you guys. I can hear you on YouTube, but I can't hear you on Google Hangouts. So while I am drinking my Jack Daniels Black Dark Cola, I'm going to continue to play with this, and you guys enjoy yourselves and have a good time at my expense. I'll return. Oh, wait a minute.
That
I
was
think I might
ominous.
be the. I do best.
Yeah, hang in there, Mark. Once we get done talking about this type Punisher, you can go on your rant with or without being able to hear us. How's that sound? Oh, that's right. He can't
that's
hear
awesome.
us. Duh.
No, he'll hear us in 30 seconds.
Oh, that's right. Okay. He's got that delay. All right.
Oh man. That is awesome. He just trolled us so hard.
Yeah. Like 4 times now. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's great. Oh man. So, back to this TIE Reaper, not TIE Punisher, that worthless ship. So the Reaper, it's got a focus and an evade. So you can evade every single turn, and you essentially have more defense than that Lambda shuttle does.
Correct.
And then also it's got the jam, which I'm not putting a hell of a lot of weight into the jam ability, which is probably wrong because I was wrong with coordinate. Now I think it'll be beneficial situationally when you're like, okay, they're not firing at Palpatine like they're supposed to. They're going for the ace. So I can just sit here and jam them all day and then force them to go after me. So there. The one problem with the jam that I really see is that, one, you're going to want to evade as much as possible because you want to keep Palpatine alive. And 2, your pilot skill is really low. The highest pilot skill this thing's going to get is 8. And that would be if you took the PS6 and VI'd them up to 8, which seems excessive. And with lower pilot skill, if you jam something, it puts that token on there, preventing them from having something. And then like it's not gonna get its token, but it's not as beneficial of it as going, okay, that thing is over there and it's gonna hurt me, so I need to jam it. So like that would be really nice, but I don't see that happening too much, unless you go with like the PS3, and then you're able to jam things like gunboats. That would be helpful. So, definitely better than the jam cannon. That thing was meh.
Yeah. Yeah, but we can't say that yet because, like I was saying before, it's like everybody thought the Sheathipede was going to be something that nobody saw in competitive play. And hey, look what sprung up everywhere, the Sheathipede. So there could be something that we're missing. And
right. I mean, there probably is. I mean, there's still 2 pilot abilities that we can't see, and
Correct.
one of them definitely says when blah 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 jam blah blah blah. So it's gonna do something with the jam and hopefully make it better. But the one question everyone is wondering about this pack, and I hope FFG just trolls us and doesn't tell us until release, is how many points is the PS1? Because everybody wants to figure out how incredibly cheap can I make my Palpatine boat so I can pile as many other points as I can onto the other stuff.
That's right.
Now, the one thing you're going to really lose with this is that with the Lambda, everybody's been running it with the what is it, Kagi or the other one that takes your stress. Yor. Yeah, there you go. So people have been using Yor a lot to take the stress away, and that's been really helpful. So you're not going to have that here, but hopefully you're going to have other benefits that make it good. And then also the Lambda is really good at just getting in there and just gumming up the works. And its firing arc is huge. So it does a really good job of just getting in there and being obnoxious. This on a small base is going to have a lot harder time of doing that, but it's going to have a lot easier time of getting the hell out of the way and keeping Palpatine alive. So there's that. You can also put lightweight frame on this, can't you? Can you do
Yeah,
lightweight
because
frame?
it's a tie.
Yeah,
Tie
I
Reaper.
wasn't sure if there were any other restrictions. Let me just double check. Lightweight.
Ooh, yeah.
Lightweight. Where's lightweight frame? Lightweight frame. You cannot equip this card if your agility value is 3 or higher. There you go. So with this agility being 1, you definitely can put it on there. So yeah, lightweight frame, and suddenly you have 2 defense dice.
Yeah.
And an evade. So that's
So
good.
we do have a title for it.
Yeah. Advanced ailerons is what we're all guessing it says. Who knows what the hell that says? Yeah, it's treat your maneuver. So people are guessing that's gonna change the difficulty of a maneuver, and then it also has kind of the same thing that the striker has with its ailerons. The wording looks slightly different, slightly differently spaced out, of where immediately blank blank reveal your blank blank. So it's probably going to be immediately before you reveal your maneuver.
You have to perform this maneuver first.
If you're not stressed, you must perform a white bank something. So if it'll be slightly different, we'll see. But
I
it's
doubt
in there.
It's going to be something along the same lines, because I mean they're both from the same era and we're on the same planet in the same movie. So
and evidently those were the only ones, because we don't see them past that.
Correct. We do have a unique card that looks like multi something camouflage, probably.
What did somebody?
It's small base only. That's all we can see.
Oh, what was it? Multi. Oh, so somebody had that like a really good answer for what they thought that that was, like multi-layered or multi-tiered or something. But anyways, something camouflage.
Right, and it's unique and it's small based only. So
yeah, but we don't really know a heck of a lot.
But that looks interesting.
But something camouflage. What? So we'll see what that says.
But I know Chico really is excited to the fact that you get to buy this TIE Punisher. Or not TIE Punisher. Let's throw that out there. TIE Reaper, and you get what? 2 more system officers, and
hell yeah, because I needed more of those.
And 2 more what, Chico?
You get 1 more decoy. Decoy.
Yeah,
but if you look decoy, nobody cared about decoy.
Yeah, that's the important slot that they have there for the EPT for the Pilot Skill 6. They want you to use decoy.
No, nobody cares about decoy.
What's the one above the system officer though?
It looks like it's going to be tactical officer.
Yay!
That's a new card though, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't think so. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's not. New. It looks like something I already own.
I think it's new. If that's not new, then I will lose my mind again. Here, let's pull up the Lambda, go to crew, and just scroll through this. Everything that has a T in it. Shield technician, tactician, tail gunner, targeting coordinator. No, it's new. Thank God.
It's new. Thank God. Somebody. There for a second, I was like, "Oh, they're giving us."
Oh my gosh! If it was 5 old cards, I would really lose my mind. But oh my gosh, 2 systems officers. Come on, we don't need that, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but it works perfect.
Yeah. So they've also got ISB something. I don't know if that's ISB agent or officer or whatever is going to be there. But for those who don't know, ISB stands for Imperial Security Bureau, and they always do wacky, crazy shit in the books and stuff. So I would expect something a little crazy out of that. So we have nothing other than the 3 letters ISB and some artwork. So
Woo.
I'm still excited about that card just because
let's talk about
ISB
the
things are cool.
excitement that's stirring over the Death Troopers unique card.
Death Troopers.
Yes.
So you mean anti-rebel captive, or not anti, but reverse rebel captive?
Yeah.
So basically 2 points, and if you didn't shoot me, take a stress. Now there's some other situations in there.
Like you have to be in their firing arc.
Well, you have to be range 1, and you have to be inside their firing arc. But I mean, still, you fly like it's basically Imperial Bigs. So you can just fly up and with your, I don't know what you're gonna put this on with, 2 slots, like a TIE bomber, or if you're like, because like anything else with 2 slots, you're using those 2 slots for something else, probably Palpatine.
Oh my God, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there's like, what about harpoons? Like, you read the fact that you have to be within range 1 of this ship that is defending, and you also have to be within this ship's firing arc.
Yeah, which I don't see as too crazy. It went on the initial engagement. Usually, a lot of ships are in a lot of firing arcs, so that's not too crazy.
Right.
I'm waiting for the first person to take a decimator and put Death Troopers and Rebel Captive on it, and say, no matter what you do, you're getting a stress. Fire at me or don't fire at me. Suck a stress. So, yeah, I'm kind of expecting.
But it says another friendly ship, though, so it doesn't say that you count as the friendly ship.
No, right. That's why I'm saying a decimator with Death Troopers and Rebel Captive.
Oh, okay.
So Rebel Captive, if you shoot me, you're taking a stress. Death Troopers, if you don't shoot me, you're taking a stress.
Right.
So
I see what you're saying.
But then at that point, your decimator is useless, and you lost in the list building phase. Sorry. So yeah, that's cute, but I don't see that popping up on anything too crazy. So then last thing on here we got is Krennic, and Krennic has already caused me at least 3 headaches. Can you tell why?
Let me get the zooming in going on.
Okay, so what it says is during setup, before the plan forces step, assign the optimized prototype condition to a friendly Galactic Empire ship with 3 or fewer shields. Do you see the problem yet?
Oh, so the Galactic Empire.
Well, okay,
how's
so
that specified?
Well, by calling it out as Galactic Empire, they're saying that anything from the First Order is not applicable. So you can't use this on Quick Draw. You can't use this on any of the FOs. And considering the condition adds 1 to your shield value, thank God they didn't make this able to be used by Quick Draw, because that would be bad. So the real headache this is giving me is that if you read in your rules reference, when do you get shields? Shields are activated after the plan forces step, or place forces step. So when Director Krennic is applied, no one has shields. Not a single ship. So
go ahead and put it on Sunterfell, is what you're saying.
Well, no, Sunterfell's fine because he has 3 or fewer shields.
Oh, that's correct.
But
my bad.
The point was that you're not supposed to be able to put this on like a decimator. And they said, because they didn't put the word shield value on there, it caused everybody to lose their minds. Now, here's the thing. we all know this. There's a phrase in there that because of stupidity, it is straight broken. And that puts it into a bucket of things that are just straight broken that are easy enough to go, oh my God, this is how it's supposed to work, is usually something that we lean towards rules as intended. And it's one of the rare conditions. So this one, and then also the X-Wing T65, even though not a single X-Wing in the game of X-Wing says T65. We all know what it means. So, that's just the way we're going to do it. And we hope and pray that they're going to have something day one saying, okay, we get it. We bugged up. Here you go. So hopefully they do that. But no, I am not letting anybody put Director Krennic with an optimized prototype of a decimator. Sorry about your luck. No. So that's the way I'm doing it. That's the way every high-level judge I've talked to is. They all just rolled their eyes and went, "Oh, but it's so hard." It's like, no.
Increase your shield value by 1.
Yeah. So this condition starts out just baller already. Increase your shield value by 1. That's already good. So if you did something like throw this on Soontir Fel, he's got a shield. Crap. Nobody wants Soontir Fel to have a shield.
No.
Like Inquisitor, give him another shield. Thank God TIE Silencer,
isn't included in this. Yeah.
So then the next paragraph. Now I'll give you the caveat. This sounds really good, but it's missing. We can't see the second half of the card, and it's spaced like there's more on there.
Correct. There's definitely not a big giant white blank space underneath the card that's hidden.
Right. There's got to be something else. Once per round, when performing a primary weapon attack, you may spend 1 die result to remove 1 shield from the defender.
Oh, it sounds perfect for Soontir Fel.
Well, on any ship that you're like, well, I ain't gonna hit him anyways. At least I can plink a shield off. So you're doing that. Imagine if you optimized prototyped Wampa, and you roll your 2 dice, you get 1 crit and anything else. The anything else you spend to chuck a shield, and then you Wampa a face down card. It's like Wampa's now doing 2 damage per round. So yeah, hopefully there's something else to this card. I don't know what it's going to be, but man, that just sounds good. Just being able to eliminate shields from something.
He is 5 points though, so I mean, it's not like he's.
Oh hell! How did I never notice that? I was too in just entranced by all the rest of it. Yeah, if he's 5 points, maybe that should be that good. Holy crap!
Yeah. Right, 5 points. Yeah,
5 points. Taking up a crew slot you're never going to get back.
Correct. And you're getting a shield, which is worth 4 if you're looking at shield upgrade value.
Right.
And then, you get the ability to take a shield off the defender by canceling one of your dice results. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but you have to put a ship out there to purposely waste the crew slot and 5 points of your squad.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm not sold on it yet. I want to see what the rest of the card says before I get too excited.
I agree with you there.
So did we miss anything?
I don't think we missed anything.
There's the Reaper pilot. When attacking, if the defender does not have a focus or evade token, you may change one of your blanks or focuses to a hit, which is really good for the fact that you have a passive modification on a ship that you're probably going to have Palpatine and you want to be all on defense.
And decoy is your EPT.
God. You stop it now. No. just rub your face in it.
Decoy.
But yeah, that's good to have out there with jam, so you can jam somebody and then have your passive ability for making your attack better. So that's good. So yeah, it's a solid ability. At PS6, you're kind of like, eh. And frankly, the PS1's going to be the star of the show probably, unless one of those abilities just shines way above it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The
But
value for the pilot ability is worth the 2 or 3 more points to bump up to it.
yeah, but thankfully they didn't there's no munition slots on this thing. There's no systems. There's no bombs. I mean, this is a straight up fair ship. It's got 2 crews, maybe an EPT, and just go. I mean, like I don't see this thing breaking any combos because it's just there's not enough on it for it to be really that crazy.
But if the bomber had 2 shields and an additional attack and 1 less defense dice, it would be a way more relevant crew carrier.
Right. True. But, like when you're talking about a crew carrier, everybody's screaming Palpatine. It's got to be Palpatine. Because I mean that's where the Empire is at. They're stuck on Palpatine, like the rebels were stuck on Biggs. Because he's good. He's really damn good. He's still damn good. He was just straight broken before, but he's still damn good. So I mean, we've talked about everything on there.
Yep.
So who really benefits from these expansions? Any Palp squad, might be getting a definite boost here.
Yep.
Any
Lovers
good
of
X-wings are getting better. So that's good. Bring them more in line.
Or if you just
I don't think it'll make them
in one list.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make them freaking awesome, but gives them something.
The U-wing is going to become the new lawful rebel.
We'll see. I mean, like there's literally nothing. Like if they had just the U-wing by itself, I don't think anybody buys it because there's nothing there.
That's what I'm saying.
Now.
They up the value, selling you a bunch of overproduced miniatures to give you the T65 title.
I'll still get it. I haven't flown my my U-wing yet, and I'll probably still get this one just because I'm a sucker for all of it.
You know what? As a matter of fact, this one's going to be a real hard sell for me because I love Scum and I dabble in the Empire, and there's nothing in this expansion pack that's going to help me. Because I've got plenty of crack shots and I don't need the targeting scrambler, so.
And all of the crew says Rebel only.
Yes.
I mean, maybe if that one system slot, it just looks really cool. You gotta pay $40 for those 2 cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows? But I mean, this definitely makes me wonder. Is like, okay, where's something for Scum? So I'm wondering if we've got something that's gonna.
It's like I said,
on there.
These expansions here were to make up for the fact that everybody's crying over the Guns for Hire expansion. Because what did Scum get? They got upgrades for the Star Viper and the Kraz Fighter. And then in the last wave, we got 2 new ships.
Yeah. So I guess it's not too crazy that
it balances out.
And frankly, only 1 new ship is showing up. That's TIE Reaper.
Right.
So, any other comments on this?
I'm good. Should we cut to commercial?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's get another beer.
Get another beer. All right. Mark, do you wanna do your rant quick? Maybe. Okay, so now for the second part, we're gonna go into our regularly scheduled town hall portion. So if we want to get a couple people on here. We're not going to go crazy and do like a whole crap ton of you. So we'll bring on I don't know,
Hi, guys.
like 2 or 3, and then after a little bit, switch to some others depending on who we got. So send me a message on Facebook, and we'll get you the link.
Hey, guys.
Can you hear me, Mark?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Oh, yay! You're working.
No, I'm on my phone.
Oh.
I'm trying to get something to work here. No, I mean, you can hear me, but I can't hear you guys at all. And all my tests say the headphones are working. I can hear through the headphones on YouTube. I just can't hear through Hangouts.
Did you go up to the little gear icon on the top of Hangouts?
Yes, I did.
Change your speaker?
I changed speakers over to my Logitech. I did everything. I changed the volume. I increased. I decreased. Can't hear anything.
That's weird.
Yeah, and I'm on 2 different computers, and neither one of them want to play. So yeah, it's a great time. Can you see me okay?
Yes.
And you can hear me okay?
Yeah. Do you have? Oh, never mind. That wouldn't do it. I'm just looking into because like you can sometimes mute tabs in Chrome. I was wondering if it was that, but it doesn't look like it.
Well, I mean, here I'm trying to get in on my work computer, but it gets to a point and freezes.
Huh. That's weird.
And I can see that there, but I can't unmute. Oh, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I'm gonna hang off this phone. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Now I got to get you off my other phone.
How many phones you have going?
I have 1 phone, 2 laptops. You know, it's awful. Well, how the hell do I do this now?
Sweet Jesus. Zach Matthews, can you be more savage? He said it's scary how Chico's voice is starting to sound like Coach. Oh. I'm not sure how to take that.
I know how to feel this. I'll turn that phone off.
Okay, I'm going to go grab another beer. Then I'm going to send out links to people. Mark, if you want to do your rant before we... do you want to do that before we come back to commercial and we can splice it in wherever? Holy hell, what was that? Yeah, and then we can splice it in wherever, or if you want to do it immediately after commercial, or I don't know. Think about it. Let me know. I'll be back in a minute.
Mark? Woo!
All right, can you hear me now?
I can totally hear you now.
Damn it. Okay, good. This is on my work computer, so maybe it won't fade and pop in and out.
Well, it's good to finally be able to have a conversation with you, Uncle Mark.
Hey, it's good to hear you guys finally.
We're just having a conversation. It's like, hello.
And I'm popping in and out, just annoying the hell out of everybody. And I've got chat over on the side going, turn your volume up, turn your volume down. They say to do this, they say to that. I want to go, guys, seriously? Trying.
Oh, it's so awesome.
It's
you
great.
Can tell
apparently on Scum and Villainy, everybody's yelling at Tyler to buy me a new computer.
I know. I think that's fantastic. What are you doing to your old man? He needs a new computer. Oh. We're totally
Anyway, I've got
used to
about
it.
4.
Completely patient with you, Mark. So
I know, but it's just really frustrating. I wanted
I
to be in on the
understand.
middle of this because I wanted to talk about the new X-Wing stuff, and I'm not going to, since you guys have already hashed all that. What I've got is my time at Indiana, basically my games, and then I've got some rants.
There's some people dying for your battle report, Mark. So
good. I got a poke. Let me see who I've got here. Who's the guy from Stay on Target? Gordon.
mm-hmm.
I've got Gordon, I've got Dion, and I got Chico. I have 3 targets of opportunity. Oh. Please tell me you can still hear me, because when it gets really silent, I get nervous.
I can hear you.
Okay.
So what are you talking about? Targets of opportunity? You had me worried. You dropped my name.
I know. You didn't tell me there was beer out in the parking lot. I could have used one after the 4th round.
Oh,
I think you violated the OCX protocol and
he did.
taking care of other podcasters without providing them beer in the parking lot.
Only for handies, though, Mark. Remember?
I mentioned it on the last podcast. I'm sorry I didn't mention it on
was
site.
I on the last podcast?
I thought I mentioned. Well, you should have listened to it.
Hey, I did listen to last week's today, and it was really, really good.
Cool. Glad you liked it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Ryan did a really good job.
Yeah,
he was a lot of fun too at Indiana, and during his last 2 games, I was in the background shadowing around him, and he was the one that said, "Boy, I wish I had some stickers of that just fan out on the board." And I said, "I got you covered, dude. Here you go. Here you go." So yeah, golly, Indiana started out so well and just went right down the. But I'll get more into that when we come back.
Yeah, things went poorly for you.
Montana cut out the impersonation of me talking a little bit of me trying to be you about your experience.
It was on there. I heard it.
Was it? Oh, did I do a good job?
I watched okay. We'll have to have some training sessions. You're not nearly as grumpy.
I'm willing if you're going to teach me.
Dewey.
Oh, and when did you guys start becoming Jamaican?
It's Ugandan. Have respect.
Ugandan, Mark.
Hello, man. Do you know the way?
They just tell no matter how you do it.
Everything is fine, man. We're just hanging out.
My brothers.
I'm on the podcast. My daughter is being critical on the side, going, "Why are you talking like that?" It's because this is the way they talk. Yes, they do. You want to come on and hear them? Absolutely not.
She's been on the show once before.
Yes, she's been on the show once before, and I think we scarred her for life.
I could have only imagined.
Hey, Catch, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well, Uncle Mark. It's actually great to hear you not all choppy and distorted.
Well, I haven't started yet. Now, have I?
Touche.
And I've now switched to my white Christmas.
Oh, God.
Oh, how long has that been in your fridge?
It's actually just sitting in the garage because my garage is a nice 0 degrees.
I can't show
Nice
you
and
what
cool.
I'm drinking. I'm having Jack Daniel's Blackjack Cola, because I don't have a
Thanks.
camera on this laptop.
But that's what you're always drinking, though, isn't it? Though.
I drink Jack Daniels and some Diet Coke, but normally I have a beer, Bud Light, something like that.
Okay, so I sent out the link to Catch. We got him, and then also Robert Monroe and Stephen Hubbard. So
Robert Monroe has become my second favorite preacher.
Yeah.
My first
Am I your first favorite preacher?
No, not by any. No, my preacher's my first favorite preacher, but the Rev is now my second favorite preacher.
I get to do my second wedding next year.
Woo!
In January. Another set of my friends are getting married, and they don't have a preacher they want.
Hey,
there he is.
Mark.
How's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good. I've had a fun time since Indy. I really enjoyed meeting all you guys.
That was a good time,
fun, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I had so much fun. It was incredible.
Going 3 and was that your first? Was that your first big tournament?
Yes, it was. It was my second tournament.
So you can get firsthand, like, explaining to people that, going to those events is significantly more than just playing 6 rounds of X-Wing. Like, it's like meeting a crap ton of people from a wide area, and just like shooting the shit with
Goomba Slayer. Woohoo!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Here we go.
My meta is so small. It's 6 players. Just to meet, 160 people is just mind blowing.
Most definitely. I mean, if that was your first one, and I can relate with a little bit of what you're saying, because like we can get up to like 12 people on like just a regular night of X-Wing, and when we went down to Kansas City, and there was, I don't know, I can't remember the number, but there's an astronomical compared to what it was, and you play 6 rounds. Like, there's a conditioning that you go through to mentally prepare for these tournaments, and people are just underprepared. And it's not necessarily you can prepare yourself for them. It's just the fact that you have to constantly go through them to know what to expect.
And then the fatigue comes in, and your back gets tired, and your legs get tired, and all you want to do is sit down. But when you sit down, then you can't get up. And when you're old like me, you don't want to get up anymore. But then
move my ships for me.
Then you've got
you make your opponents come to you, Uncle Mark. It's a privilege to play.
Well, then you get some slob sitting across from you with his man boobs laying on the table, and you're like, "Oh my God, I can do this." That actually happened at my first regional in Chicago, where the guy sat across from me, laid his chest on the table, and then started telling me how to play the game. Oh my! I looked at Tyler twice, and he just kind of shook his head and walked away.
Was that when it was at Dice Dojo?
Yes.
That was a fun regional. That was when
they tried to send me downstairs.
Crazy.
Because they had 90 people, and they could only hold 8.
Yeah, and all the bottom tables were literally in the salt mines of the basement. It was so hilarious.
And the ceiling was like 4 feet 8. and this guy says, "Well, you need to go down there," and I went, "No."
That sounds like my experience at Kansas City. I played one game down in this like dark, dank, like musty basement. It's like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
And the greatest thing was, Dice Dojo is at the end of Lakeshore Drive, 1 block inland, in a community area, and you can't park on the side street because you don't have a city sticker, and there's no parking decks, so you have to try to find a place on the street, and it's $4 for 2 hours, and you better damn well feed the meter.
So,
I magically found a parking spot like 2 blocks over that didn't require a sticker. Like, Yeah, that sucked. Like, thank God they moved it to a place
Oh,
with
the
an actual
pastimes?
parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've ridden
my
my
God.
bicycle down Lakeshore Drive. It's pretty nice.
Well, yeah, it's a
And the
nice
fir-
area, but for when you have a car, it sucks. Sucks so
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Everybody's going,
My
well, we just took
hometown
the
is
train
South
in.
Bend.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Sure, here's my
What was that,
train.
Steven?
My hometown is South Bend, which is an hour east, and I rode my bicycle to Michigan City and rode down Lakeshore Drive to join my family at Lake Michigan.
That's quite a bike ride.
That
It
is.
was a lot of fun.
Huh?
I'm just impressed you got through Gary, Indiana without getting swallowed up by one of the monsters that lives under the road there.
I was riding 1,000 north through LaPorte County, which is pretty desolate. So you just dodge Gary and it doesn't matter.
That's awesome. Oh, our
There he
Reverend's
is.
on.
The Rev.
The triple Ks.
Salute.
Oh.
Guten Tag, was ist los hier mit Havens?
Happy
All right,
Ash
we got some-
Wednesday.
Danke sehr gut.
Sláinte.
Yeah, I
Gross.
would do launch.
Bless me, Father, for I am drunk.
I've been working at it for the past hour myself.
Bless me, Father, because I'm sick with a cold.
Oh.
He is now officially known as Padre.
That's Padre.
I have an old soul. So there's that song Padre by Marty Robbins, which just makes me think of.
Marty Robbins.
All right.
Oh man.
I'm only 29, but I have a soul of like 60-year-old.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with listening to Marty Robbins. Okay, the Gunslinger Ballad is legit. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
There's nothing wrong in
who else
listening to Led
sings Cool
Zeppelin either.
Water and
I love me some Led Zeppelin.
Big Iron and El Paso. I mean, those are
48.
classics. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, I know exactly what you're talking about. When I was at Gen Con, I got into the Uber and they were playing Big Iron and I started singing it word for word. And the guy that was driving the car turned around and he looked at me and goes, "We seriously have a Marty Robbins fan in the backseat?" I'm like, "You goddamn right we do."
Marty Robbins is one of my favorite artists. I mean, I think he's number one for me, and then probably number two maybe is Cash.
Yeah, Cash is damn good.
Amen.
All right, so do we have any plans for when we come back from commercial? We're gonna let Mark rant, but what are we doing after
before
that?
happens, I got to show you what I got for my birthday.
Ooh.
Oh, what'd you get?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
got Bob.
You got Bob.
I had
Everybody
to have
needs Bob.
another one because you can't have life is not complete until you have 3 resistance bombers to drop stuff.
Yeah, well, you need at least 10 because only one's gonna make it to the drop point, right?
No,
Not if you're supporting it.
I do have a 3 bomber list.
How does that do for you?
I'm sorry.
So far, not bad.
What's your opponent flying?
Well, let's see. I actually I tried out. I went against Ryan. Ryan Ontopsky on Saturday, and he was flying Brobots, and he was surprised when I killed one. And then he was more surprised when he took more damage on the other one. And I made some bad mistakes, and I got killed by those stupid things.
Yeah, they're mean.
In the past 8 games that I've played, I've lost 1.
Wow.
Oh, wow. New meta!
Rob and his bombers give me nightmares.
I
What
prefer
bombs
the
are you
term
putting on your bombers?
precision bombing.
Well, Mark, do you have your rant all queued up?
I'm all ready to go. I got 4.5 pages of notes. I'm ready to roll.
Are we
He's been
doing
ready
the
for a
curled
while.
paw commercial, Chico?
Please say yes. Please,
no,
dear
God,
God,
no.
say yes.
Sure, we can put that one again.
All
there.
right. That hurt.
I-
hurt.
Coming. What's that?
Well,
I was thinking
you,
of all
you
the
bring us
theater
out a
training I've
commercial,
had.
and then I'll pass it over to Mark.
Okay. All right.
So we're doing snaps.
Good shout out to those awesome token and acrylic makers from Curled Paw. And I believe we have somebody that everybody's long anticipating to hear from. Wouldn't you say, Chico?
Yes, it is time. Let's give it up for a man whose computer is as old as his list building choice. Our own angry Uncle Mark.
Well, hello, boys and girls. How nice to finally be in technological heaven with the rest of you. Although you can't see me because my laptop has no camera, so maybe I will. Damn it. Okay, here we go. Indiana Regional. It was a great show last week. Ryan Ontopsky, what a player. We had a good crew there. There was 5 of us represented. Steven and Lance and Ryan and Chico and myself. We represented really well, even to the disgust and dismay of Dion and the podcasters over on the sidelines that were televising everything and not wanting to give us a lick of credit for anything. But Tyler and Will Barnacle and Nick Mock and I, we traveled to Indy on the Friday night before. We got there in real good shape, got there fairly early, and Tyler had a match with Marcel for drinks, and Tyler won. While we were there, ran into Chad from the CAC and Pasquale, his right-hand man from Chicago, and it was good to see those guys. We've hung out a lot from the beginning with the CAC. What a great cause! This year, their focus goals $25,000 to St. Jude, 25 locations, including a location in Australia. So get out there, get to these sites, go to their website. I think you can Google Challenge Against Cancer, and it should get you there. Sign up, donate, help out. It's a really good event. It's a good cause. Anyway, that was Friday night, and then we marched into Saturday morning, and wow, a ton of people, a lot of old friends. Got reacquainted, got to meet a lot of new friends. We finally got sat down, and sure enough, my first round, I run into a guy that I've played against at CAC a couple times, and Drew was his name. He was flying a Miranda with Harpoon, Ezra, Stresshog, and Lorik. And amazingly enough, I took 4 Y-wings, 2 seismic charges, and what was it last? Oh yeah, 4 TLTs. And apparently that irritates people to no end, and I don't care. We sat down, and I thought, okay, this is the first time I'm having to deal with harpoons. What's going to happen? It was a 150 win. We almost went to time, but he has trouble with the Y wings, and with me just flying. All of us that use TLTs don't know how to fly correctly, because why else would we use TLTs? We'll get into that rant later. Anyway, round 2. I played a fellow named Daniel. Daniel knocked me out of the Hoth competition last year. He was flying a Dash Poe build, and he had one of those mornings where his dice went cold, my dice went hot. I was able to corner Poe, kill Poe quick, then just chase Dash down and annihilated him, and it was a 124 win for me. And Daniel said, you have one of those games. You just know it's going to turn out bad. He ended up 5-1 for the day. Round 3 was my most intimidated round. I played Andrew Harding, who I'm not sure if I've ever played him before. I know I've never beat him if I have.
And he was flying Rebels. What the hell?
First time ever. He's always flown Imperial.
Yeah, he's always come to events dressed as an Imperial.
That's and that first year at CAC, he had like a lieutenant's uniform on and never smiled once.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, this is a different cat. And I think he finished up in the top 8. And anyway, he was flying a Ray Flynn that was loaded out and a U-wing that was loaded out. And did something kind of odd. He flew that Millennium Falcon straight in front of me, and I thought, okay, I have 4 target locks and I have 3 Y-wings at range 1. Okay, we can do this. And as bits and pieces fell off the Millennium Falcon, I did away with Ray and Finn as I rode away with my TLTs, because you can't fly correctly if you're using TLTs, because obviously you're not smart enough to know how to fly your ships around the board. That game finished out a 124 win. 20 minutes. Now I've got time to think. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, wow, I'm 3-0. And I got nervous. And I've got Ryan and Chico telling me, well, they're both 2-1. And I'm going, yeah, I'm 3-0. I don't know where I'm going. Well, they sent me to table 5. I don't go to table 5. I get nosebleeds. That's too far up. And I ran into Jason. Jason finished in the top 16. He was running a Kylo silencer with quick draw and an Academy pilot. And as the game was getting in, I had damaged Kylo, I had damaged quick draw, but I couldn't kill him. And then it dawned on me that I'm losing ships and I haven't killed anything, and I'm a podcaster, so I need to kill something.
Yeah, you better kill something.
And I swung 3 Y-wings on that Academy pilot, and it took me 2 turns, but I killed him. And then he wiped me out 100-12. And as I'm walking away, I hear him telling the guy next to him, going, wow, that Academy pilot was the hero of the day. He tied up those 3 Y-wings for 2 whole turns. I wanted to say, dude, I'm a podcaster. I can't let you 100-0 me.
Wasn't it a great
I don't want to have to give you templates. Yeah.
Yeah, not giving up that.
Not giving up that. But then I come back to the middle tables where I belong, and I run into my best match of the day. God bless him, Johnny Lopez. I hope if one of your buddies hears me talk about you, you have him come back and check this podcast out. Dude, it was the most boring game, but the best game of the day, because he brought his 4 Wookiees. I had my 4 Y-wings with TLTs, and we bored each other to death until he finally won.
Wow.
That particular game, I snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, not once, but twice. Yeah, I outdid myself. If I win this game, I might make the cut. But no, I don't. And I'm like, okay. Now, this is a point like this is when Chico could have said, dude, we got beer out in the parking lot. But no, he kept that to himself. Selfish bastard. So
we killed a whole case.
Yeah, I know you did. You bragged about it, braggart. Anyway, we go to round 6, and I see this bizarre, and trust me, I know bizarre builds because I fly them. And there's a gold squad with TLT and a chopper and a whole bunch of other junk. And there's an Ezra Stress Hog, and there's a Lorik, and there's an X-Wing. And I'm thinking, okay. I make the mistake of doing a lateral move up and down the board, waiting for him to make his move. I get antsy. I cut in. He makes his move. I can't kill the X-Wing quick enough, and he tears me apart. I end up losing that one. I think it was 150, and I'm a bit surly after it. Well, it turns out that's Brandon Thayer, and he finished second overall, losing to Ryan. And so I guess I shouldn't feel so bad anyway. I guess my biggest foot in the mouth of the weekend was with Ben Knott. I saw him flying 3 Star Vipers and started laughing at him on Saturday. Sunday, I went over and shook his hand and apologized.
Yeah, as he was in the top 4.
Top 4 match. Yeah. Something like that. But then Sunday in the redemption tournament, I met Lance, our medic, and he was flying like 7 TIE fighters, and I've got I'm flying a Han and a Luke build, and he beat me, and then I lost my next game, and so I pulled a coach and did the D&D. And I spent the rest of the day kind of following Tyler, or if I not Tyler, but Ryan. And when Ryan got to the final table, he smiled and said, "Boy, I wish I had some stickers that I could just start fanning out across the table." I said, "Dude, I got you covered." And I went and got him a whole handful of stickers. And when he won, he started flipping those things out. And Dion couldn't get that Gold Squadron podcast up quick enough. So
yeah, I was watching the groupies thread, and that was pretty fun. You giving coverage of that, because I wasn't able to watch live because I was working.
Well, I was trying to update everybody as best I could, but anyway, after listening to you guys last week, I wondered when half of you became Jamaican with that the Dawayman or whatever.
Ugandan!
If you say
Jamaican
so.
man.
Oh, stop that clicking stuff, whatever it is. Stop it. Stop. So, mild beefs. Yes, there he is again. Mild beefs. You know, we all kind of respect each other in a way. Each of the different podcast groups, each of the different groups that are represented, and OCX represented. And yeah, we had guys with the Michigan group, and my guys from Illinois, and the guys from Southern Indiana and Kentucky. But you know, when Dion like shuts down anything that's OCX, kind of take it a little personal. I shouldn't, but I do. And that wasn't nice, especially his commentary during that final match. Sure seemed like he was pulling for the Chicago boy more than making it a nice, easy commentary like, you know, they do on the NFL.
Oh, no, he was
biased.
biased.
A little biased there.
Yeah, I know I was being nice.
I think Mark's throwing some beef right now.
Yeah, there's a little bit. We've already discussed Chico not mentioning beer. Also, he's up for disciplinary actions for not wearing his OCX shirt during the Saturday formal combat. I don't care if that was a special shirt, but Get Good belongs to somebody else. We are OCX.
You're here.
We should
Dilly.
Dilly. Exactly. And Saturday night, once we finished, went out to dinner over the Roadhouse. And while I'm waiting for my chicken sandwich to show up, Gordon from Stay on Target is like in the booth in front of me. Tyler's sitting across from me. And Gordon's like leaning over the top. And he and Tyler are having an in-depth discussion for about 20 minutes about how horrible TLTs are. And how people that fly TLTs, you know, normally aren't very good pilots or whatnot. I would like to ask the people that I have played, am I a bad pilot? I don't think so. I think I fly what I can, and I fly it well. And if TLTs happen to be on it, so be it. But if you want me to play ships with arcs, I'll play them too. But I had to listen to this.
You were pretty awful with the advanced sensors B-wings. Kidding.
Chico, remember that token I gave you on Saturday?
Yes. I said I love
Apply that. And at one point, Gordon looks over and we make eye contact, and he just goes, sorry. And I just shrugged. So I listened to the Stay on Target broadcast. And in the middle of his discourse, he goes, everybody I talked to had the same opinion about TLTs. Well, apparently he limited his conversation to everyone that simply agreed with him. So what? Do we not get equal time on these other podcasts? I'm just throwing it out there. Gordon, I'd love to be on your podcast and talk to you about TLTs.
Oh, so, man, anyway. I would pay money to see that.
Somebody make that one happen.
As a scrub, maybe I'm a little biased against TLT, but I want like a soft nerf to it. You know, I don't want to make Y-Wings obsolete by nerfing it hard, but it like makes Miranda stupid good. So maybe it's like you do a lot of individual nerfs to like Miranda and the Ghost build instead of nerfing TLT. But
I'm going to interrupt real quick because
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I was looking for Miranda builds and I was hunting for Ghost builds. Do I get any of them? No. Ask Ryan and Chico who they wanted to play when we were all 3-1. It certainly wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah, we were both standing there looking at you going, oh, God, we're all 3-1. Please don't give me Mark.
No, I get one of the top 16 finishers. No, yes.
I still dream of the day when you...
Like I said, I'm a scrub. I've been playing, seriously for less than a year.
No, you're an OCX ace.
No, it's just... I admit my weaknesses. It's just me as like kind of an amateur looking in,
You're just getting your feet wet. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We're rocking. We're all aces here, and I think I'm done wasting everybody's time. Indiana was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to Hoth, and I'm really looking forward to my first trip to Worlds. I am playing something a little different just to play around with it to see how it goes.
Yes.
I'm flying a list called Woodchopper that Kelvin Tiberius put together, and it's actually 2 gunboats and a aggressor and a TIE shuttle with Vader.
Your son
you can do some crazy things when you have a Vader on your list. I just never realized it before.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean I'm turning to the dark side. I'm just getting a little shady. So anyway,
looking forward to
guys,
seeing Worlds, Mark. That's going to be great.
Hey, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. I'm just hoping I don't draw a Wednesday to play.
Oh, yeah.
My next 2 events that I'm judging, I have to deal with Mark Tippett. Oh, this will be fun.
I mean,
I'm calling you to every table, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
No, I don't want you, Judge. I want
the judge. I want the Illuminati.
Get him over here.
And you know what's funny is he'll bring help.
Yes, I will. Like, Ron Longy, please follow me over here. I need an adult.
Anyway, guys, I am sorry about taking so much time and having so much technical difficulty. I am going to bug out now because it is 11:15 and I'm old. So
get that beauty rest, Mark.
Hey, I will. Rev, it's great to put a face to a name. And Catch, it's always a pleasure. Stephen, it was a great pleasure to meet you over in Indiana. Hopefully we will be able to lock up on the tables and you can teach me how a noob beats a guy with Y wings with TLTs. Okay.
I'll bring my alpha high PS strike list.
You do that because I will giggle at you and shoot you with TLTs. Anyway, this is Uncle Mark, and I'm out of here. We'll talk to you later, guys. Have a great evening.
Have a good night, Uncle Mark.
Dilly dilly, everybody.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
All right.
Leader out.
Quadrant out. Oh, man.
I still want to see him win a regional with quad Y wings one day.
Oh, it'd be so great.
I want him to win worlds. Like,
oh my God, that'd be amazing.
yeah,
Yeah,
people would lose
could you
their
imagine
damn
what his
minds.
upgrade card would look like afterwards?
Jesus Christ.
A buff to the Y wing. Sweet.
Horton Psalm gets
You can equip a second. You can equip a second turret for no points.
Good Lord. No, Mark, no.
Auto blaster and TLT for the win.
I don't know, as a scrub, do you want me to discuss indie regionals before we move on? Because that was my first tournament experience.
Well, if you got anything to throw on there, I mean, I don't want to go through another full battle report segment.
No, I don't really.
If you got any cool stuff to drop from your
just
experience,
think
go
it's
for it.
like, as a new player, who hasn't really done a lot of tournaments, things to think about. I would say.
Yeah, definitely, because I think some of us who have been going to these events year after year after year, we kind of forget some of the things that new players need to think about. And like I've wanted to do like a new player prep thing, but there's a lot of those things that you don't really think about, like bring a snack and a freaking water bottle. I mean, little things like that we just do and forget that other people don't realize. You're playing 6 rounds of X-Wing at least, and chances are you might not get a break. So drop some noob knowledge on us.
Yeah, I just mainly, as far as battle rounds, wanted to shout out a couple opponents I thought were really fun. Didn't really want to go blow by blow into anything, because that's just kind of boring. I'm not really significant. I finished 3-3, which is good for my second tournament overall and my first big tournament. I guess I'll start off by briefly mentioning my squad. I flew a new squadron with plasma torps, quick draw with harpoons, and Vader with cruise missiles. I went harpoons because I went plasma torps on the new squadron because I wanted a slight bid, which actually didn't really come all that useful, except for Fen Rao PS11, only once. But first round I flew against Mikkel from Stay on Target. He was a lot of fun. I mean, for my first regional X-Wing match, it was great to fly against Palp Aces. Somebody was good and beat him. So that was a lot of fun. Otherwise, I guess for like new guys tips, I mean, definitely I tried flying against some different squads preparing for the tournament. I kind of went in going to think that Ghost Fen was just an auto loss for me. So I didn't really prep for it as much as I probably should have. With my 3, high aces who are dependent on using target locks on their missiles for mods, I just figured Fen would shut them down. I didn't really have much of a chance.
Well, yeah, and that list was kind of the boogeyman going into it, and like I was expecting a lot of the field to be Ghost Fen, and I practiced like crazy trying to figure it out, and then turns out I never faced one, but on the other hand, every single one of my games had Ghost Fen in it because that's what I flew. So was I part of the problem? Yeah, sure. But I didn't have any mirror matches. I know Ryan had a bunch of mirror matches.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I went into it, since it was my first regional, I wanted to fly something that had a chance and was fun for me to fly. I've always been an aces guy. So flying Vader was just a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, definitely for your first event, fly something you're comfortable with, because you're going to be doing that for 6 rounds. If you're trying to learn a new list, it's going to be really stressful over the first few rounds. So yeah, like as many of those variables, like stressful variables that you can eliminate, the better. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, the new squadron pilot was the hardest for me to learn. I mean, he crashed and burned so many freaking times before I learned how to fly him well in practice matches. It's something that's, as a PS2, it's easy for someone to arc dodge him, or you're flying against some rebel list with a lot of defensive mods, they just burn you down.
Yeah, and trying to find that moment of your opponent doesn't really have enough maneuverability to go crazy dodging arcs, and you can put yourself into a position that you're covering the areas that they can go. Learning that skill definitely takes a good bit of time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed flying that list. I mean, it wasn't the best. I finished 3-3. I mean, the last match, going to newbie beginning stuff, I forgot to set Vader's dial in the last match, which was terrible. And it cost me, my opponent choosing a 3 hard towards the board edge, which put Vader out of the action for 2 turns.
At least he didn't. He wasn't able to just straight fly him off the board. I've seen that happen, and
I was flying
people get salty over that.
Khan, who I guess is a decent player. I've never heard of him before playing, but some of the podcasts have mentioned him.
Who was it?
Hassan Khan.
I'm not familiar.
I've heard the name before, but I don't know.
One of the podcasts, he wasn't Gold Squadron, but I think Scum and Villainy mentioned him on the last podcast. So I guess he's a well-known name. He was flying a mirror match, and I actually had a 1-point bid over him. So I chose to move last, but I still screwed it up by forgetting to set Vader's dial.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. But as far as like newbie tips, definitely, trying to fly preparation games and not just deciding last minute is huge. And that's what I did. I stuck to the list, even though at first I flew the new squadron terribly and he died a lot of times, but I stuck to it.
So would you say that forgetting to set Vader's dial towards the tail end of the day would be due to unexpected mental fatigue after playing a game that you love all day?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I could have cheated at that moment because my opponent did not even catch that I didn't set the dial.
Oh, sweet Jesus, don't do that.
But I did.
Were you on stream?
You couldn't do that. You're not on stream. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I looked down at the dial, and it was a 5 forward. And I knew instantly in my mind that was the move I had done previously. And I'm an honest guy. I'm not playing the game to win. I'm playing the game for fun. And I couldn't say that I had set the 5 maneuver because that's what I would not have done in that situation. That was the move for in the previous round.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to call a judge over, and the judge ruled correctly, even though at the time I thought, because I'm a new scrub, I thought it was supposed to be assigned a 2 white forward to it.
That's the revealing a red maneuver while you're stressed punishment.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a scrub. So I was
all are welcome.
I was a little peeved at that because I thought it was the wrong call. But like it boiled down to, I was at fault for not setting the dial.
Right, and for reference, for people who are wondering, in the FAQ under missed opportunities, it says if a player forgets to place a maneuver dial next to his ship, but tells his opponent that he's ready to begin the round, once play has proceeded to the first ship, a dial has been revealed, blah blah He may no longer place a dial. Instead, when that ship activates, the player's opponent chooses a maneuver that ship will perform. No actions may be taken before this maneuver, but play proceeds as normally after. Yeah, so it sucks. Don't forget those.
Yeah, that was I think I misplayed quick draw anyway. So that match was an uphill battle, but certainly forgetting Dave Vader's dial as player fatigue, last match. I was 3-2 at that point, but my MOV wasn't that good that I would have made the cut anyway, even if I had won it. I just had a bad loss round 2 versus Wolfero Lorick Fenrau. Losing the game in the last round of combat. My MOV was just bad. I wouldn't have made the cut anyway. But it would just been cool to say I went 4-2 instead of 3-3. But yeah, it was cool to play against. All my opponents were super fun. I mean, even the game I got trounced the worst, which was playing against triple defenders. I played against a guy named Chris with a K. I mean, he was just so much fun to play against. It didn't matter that I absolutely got creamed 100-0. I mean, it was just so much fun to play against him. I didn't give a rip that I got absolutely tabled.
Yeah, those are the ones that I think really make those days worth it. Is like when you find one of those opponents that's really enjoyable to play against. I had my last round opponent was just a blast to play against. Like I beat him pretty solid, but he was just having so much fun. He was joking around the whole time, and that's not to say any of my other opponents were bad opponents, but all my other opponents were much more serious and like very in the game. All the games were like really tense because they were really close. But it was nice to come down to the end and close out the day with somebody who just looked like they were really enjoying the game.
Yeah, my first round against Mikkel from Stay on Target, playing against Palp Aces, which I'd never played against before, and against playing somebody who had a kind of reputation was very stressful for me. I beat him. His, I had a full health quick draw on the table at the end and totally tabled his list. He was flying Inquisitor quick draw and then a Palp shuttle. So I was pretty proud of that win. I screwed up with Vader. Don't want to go into all the details, but pay attention to crit cards, new people. When crit cards get assigned to you, pay attention to what they say on them.
Oh yeah, those are so easy to forget. Like an amazing amount of players don't bother with crit tokens, and that's something you should really do. And if you can find like a third-party crit token that's really obnoxious, either like a bright, crazy color, or just get something that's like just off the wall. Like I have a really long token that's one of those emojis of somebody flipping the table. So like I always use that because it's big and it's impossible to miss.
It seriously could have cost me the round 1 game. I could have won it with a much larger margin and had Vader still on the table. But because of thrust control fire, I missed the fact that performing a white maneuver would give a stress to Vader. And so Vader ended up...
Oh, yeah. Vader with no actions is a sad, sad Vader.
Yeah, range 1 of the Palp shuttle.
Yeah. Bad times.
Yeah, he died miserably. But, it's just, that's something, again, I would say for new players. You got to really pay attention to those crits. I just wasn't used to it,
So, I'm trying to think here.
I actually had a quick question.
Yeah. That's what.
One for you as a newer player, and then one, same question for the people who are more veterans at some of these big tournaments. How did you feel about them using the prize support money for food as opposed to the actual prizes? Did you actually prefer that? Just as like something for like a tournament organizer.
So personally, I was like, I feel like I'm right on the edge of which one's better. Because I've done well enough in enough tournaments that I kind of figure I'm gonna get some of that higher up prize support. Now, there's a huge chunk of players that when I go into tournaments, and I have this conversation with people all the way from base level like kit tournaments all the way up to like regionals and higher, and it's like going into a kit tournament or a wave release tournament, and they're like, oh, we're gonna give away one of each of the new ships, and some players go in there going, cool. That just means that my cost is probably going to be $10 instead of the usual $5, and it's because I'm paying for somebody better than me to get a free ship, and that really frustrates people. So I think when a place does it right and they're able to provide prize support that a lot of people can get, I think is really beneficial. I know Chicago really like blows it out of the park with prize support, but I really enjoy that often because I can crack that top 32 mark. So I'm going home with a top 32 mat. Cool. I'm going home with probably some store credit that I can buy something while I'm there. Cool. They do a few extra alt art cards, which I think is really neat. They support with prize support the redemption tournament. So there is stuff there, but a lot of it is still weighted towards the winning players. There's tournaments like the CAC. I'll probably explain more in my shout outs, but the CAC has prizes all the way from the low level players who don't do very well that day all the way up to the top players. Now the top players, might get a little bit more because you want people to do better, but they're still giving stuff like from top to bottom, everybody. So I think that's really cool when tournaments can figure out a way to do that. Now, Indy, they had it. They were like, you know what? We're gonna have a whole bunch of donuts for breakfast, and then we're gonna have a whole bunch of wings for lunch. And I think that was really cool. It made it so that if that's a food you enjoyed, it was super simple. The only argument that I would have is that wings is something that you eat with your hands, and your hands are going to get all over it, and you're going to be a mess.
Boneless.
Yeah. Fortunately,
you
they
don't
had
necessarily want a barbecue
wings.
sauce upgrade on your decimator.
Yeah. For me, my game went to time, so I didn't have a whole lot of time, so I was eating during my next match. So like I'm frantically trying to go back and forth between, messy hands to clean hands and stuff. So that was difficult. So I think, maybe there was maybe a better choice, but I love me some wings. So fortunately, my next opponent I beat pretty quick, and I was able to just go and eat more wings. So I was happy about that.
I thought you could go 3 times for wings.
Oh, I definitely went at least 3 times. After every round, I went back and looked. Are there still more wings? Cool, I'm going again.
All right,
so yeah, it was really good for me. But like they had a Subway right next door, so if they didn't have that, I'd hop over and go to the Subway. But the places that bother me are the ones that don't do either. Like Ohio last year, they had so many people there, and the zero extra prize support, nothing special. Like they even asked people to bring mats in. So it's like, what is all my money going towards but to just line your pockets, which, okay, completely justified, sure, but it's not making me excited, and it certainly didn't let you keep a regional. It went to Indy, because people had higher hopes that they'd do better. Sorry.
I mean, as a scrub, I guess I didn't have a lot of expectations going in. It was cool they handed out a Lyric card as extra from the Hangar 19 Bay. That's a relevant card, unlike the Zuckus from FFG, which is not relevant at all.
Well, I'll give you a quick thing on that. Wade Pache is high up in the group that decides those alt arts, and Wade hates meta lists. Like, he hates them. So he's asked some of us sitting around talking at Worlds is like, hey, what ships would you like to see alt arts of? And we start mentioning meta pilots, and he's like, no. Like,
well, screw
okay.
him. I'm sorry. I mean,
What an alt-art card I'm actually going to put on the freaking table.
Time, but
like Wade does a great job of what he does, and he makes his choice of what he wants to see, and I think at least the alt arts they're doing, I think, look really awesome, and like, I'm excited to put Zuckus on the board, just so I can fly it. There have been times that I flew lists specifically because I wanted to fly a card. Now, definitely, I mean, there's cards that have knocked it out of the park more than others, like the World's Inquisitor card, right when everybody's flying Inquisitor. People were so excited about that. And then there's other ones, like Zuckus or what was it? Dutch or Horton Psalm was recent. Dutch. And it's like, oh,
Well,
Okay,
I really like that alt art.
So let me ask you guys a question. All right. If you come in last place, very last place, you are so down in the bottom tier that you are scraping the bottom of the floor. You paid your $20 to get into a store tournament, store championship, whatever. What do you want to walk away from at the end of the day with?
New dice.
Yeah,
I get those $7 off of the shelf. No, seriously, what is your expectation? What do you think is I would like to have?
I finished
because,
last.
like, when I do my tournaments, I go insane.
I finished last in the first tournament that I ever competed in, which was a store championship tournament back last year in July. I was flying a modified TIE Swarm with Strident. Terrible list. But, I followed the advice, you should stick to a list until you master it. Well, it didn't matter if I mastered the list. You still lose anyway. Finishing last won me a free ship and the first pick of an upgrade card, which I got C-3PO.
Ooh.
Which saved me from buying an epic ship. So that was pretty cool. I picked an Azatuk gunship, and I got a free C-3PO card.
That's actually pretty impressive. Like, free ships at a store championship thing where the kit is actually already pretty impressive is pretty cool. Like, and even to give it to somebody who didn't perform all that well is really impressive.
Yeah, the guy who hosted it at one of our locals, he threw in the free ship as a bonus. The C-3PO card was something I think that might have been in the FAG.
Yeah.
The store championship tournament kit, but he chose to give it out to the last player. The last player got to pick the free ship of their choice and the C-3PO.
It's been many, many, many years ago, and the very first tournament that I competed in, I didn't even expect to compete in, because a friend of mine was talking to me about the game, and he wanted me to come see it because he knew that I'd probably like it. Well, this is back when we were still playing in the old store, and I had never met and coach yet. And I went into the store to watch my buddy play this game because I wanted to see what it was about. Coach kindly told me, he's like, well, if you want to play, I've got plenty of ships in the back, and I've got some squads back there, and you can play the game. So sweet. I think he threw down 3 Blue Squadron pilots. I think they all had advanced sensors on them, and I can't remember what else they had on them. I think heavy laser cannon. But I think I came in dead last. But for the most part, everybody that participated in that tournament got a free ship, and I was just was like, I'm going to get the A-Wing. This is going to be great. I was super excited about getting the A-Wing. This is like way back in the day, you know. And all I wanted to do was fly me some B-Wings and some A-Wings. So that was great. I mean, it just depends on what kind of a tournament you're throwing. I mean, if you're going to a regional event and you get last place, it's kind of hard to expect something when you got last place out of like 142 people or whatever. But if you're going to throw like a local tournament that's only going to have like 12 people show up to it, and I'm not even talking about store level, I'm talking about like store tournament level. I'm talking about like just regular, everyday, casual people having a good time. You show them a good time, and they'll be back. But like store champs and stuff like that, you know, there's some additional prizes sport you can throw out there. I think the first store championship that I went to, they gave away a free small base ship for the person who won the tournament, and that was it. And sure, that was nice. I don't know. They gave away an alt art, what was it, Deadeye Deadpool card at the Kansas City Regional for the guy who got dead last. And that was enough, you know, I think. Just something fun and janky to give to the person. And they got like additional alt art cards that been piled up from the store kits for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, as a new player, you know, I didn't really, you know, as far as alt art, you know, the alt arts from if I, you know, Patreon to like Gold Squadron or whoever, you know, I care about those more than what some of these like Hangar Bay 19 handed out. I mean, not that I'm dissing Hangar Bay 19, but
oh no, you can diss Hangar Bay 19. One of the guys tried to impersonate me at Nationals.
That's so true.
I mean, you know, like the Hangar Bay, there was a lot of Hangar Bay 19s who came down to our store championship tournament, which was the first tournament I ever played in. And in fact, I played that guy who finished top 32 who played the Pal Bases list. I don't remember. His name.
Zach Bart.
Yeah, Zach Bart. So
yeah, poor guy went undefeated during Swiss and then lost.
That was my first game ever in a tournament, and I played him.
That's rough. He's good.
I mean, he creamed me in 15 minutes.
Sounds about right.
He had Vader, Inquisitor with cruise missiles. And I was playing playing just a 3 Imperial Aces list, and he just creamed me. It was just not even fun.
So we also have someone else in here that hasn't said a whole lot yet, and they're patiently listening. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm taking up a lot of time. I'm sorry.
But let's ask if Mark has a question. Yeah. Cheers.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
So what's going on, Mark?
Not much. I finished work early. It's sweltering hot outside.
Must be nice.
Come home and sit in the aircon.
It must be nice.
Okay, Mark can be quiet now.
He's hot.
It's not. It's not. On that same subject, though, I always have a booby prize for last place. It's got to be done.
But
even at Nationals, I had one because that's
it almost makes
a special
the
kind of
point
bad
then,
to be last.
If you come in second to last, then you're the first loser.
Someone's gonna be
at 2016 regionals. At 2016 regionals, we had a guy. He was a local, a friend of mine, and he was going to come in dead last, but got a bye in the last round. And it made him third from last, so he missed out on the booby prize. He was super cut.
Now, there was out in Denver. I thought this was really cool. They had Denver Regionals was at this one store that also sold beer, and they had a prize for the person who got the bye every round. Now, the person who gets the bye is the person who's in last place at that time. So they gave out like extra prizes each round to whoever did that. and then that person got to go and have a beer at the bar while they, watched everybody else play X-Wing. But I thought that was really cool that they, they had like a booby prize every single round. I thought that was neat.
They should have had a free beer as the prize.
Yeah. Well, there's like I don't know about Colorado, but there are some states that have laws against free beer, but as like prizes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The states are messed
You
up.
guys are crazy over there. You can't even drink till you're 21 or something. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's sad.
It really is.
It actually turns out really well, and there's zero alcoholism because of it.
I'm pretty sure that this podcast puts that to yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a lie. Oh, Jesus.
Cheers to that. Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
Has anybody said tweaked during this episode?
Oh, no.
God damn it.
We've been drinking enough.
Gotta get you guys hammered somehow.
It's not like I'm drinking beer here, man. You can't keep doing that.
Hey, I'm not drinking beer either. I'm drinking straight well.
Rye whiskey.
Yes.
Whiskey, you villain, you've been my downfall. To quote another country western song, Tex Ritter.
You and your old music.
I always have a song going on in my head, and it's generally old stuff.
So who's going to a tournament recently, or is going to a tournament in the near future?
I'll be at
I got
Adepticon.
Michigan regionals.
Yeah, I'll be at Michigan. So what are you expecting to go on there? Are you expecting more Ghost Fen, or what are you thinking?
I'm from what I'm hearing around this, it's going to be Ghost Fen.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what. Now that Ryan has already been there, done that, and brought home a T-shirt, he was starting to play around with the Brobots. So, and I've heard, pray tell, quite a few people also talking about Brobots too. All I know is nobody's going to be flying my list. I'll be the only one with it.
Three BF-7s.
Let's just say there's going to be bombs. Lots of bombs. Lots and lots of bombs. But, there's a whole bunch of people that are just going to, it's everybody's meta crazy. We got to fly this list. We got to fly this list. We got to fly this list.
well, because it's damn good. It really is. It's resilient. It's powerful.
Yep.
I tell you what, though, I've seen a lot of people that are really pushing to find a build around Boba Fett. I mean, they are just ready to make some people sad as they flip over their TLT or flip over their HLC from Dash or whatever.
Well, and everybody says, okay, so meta is going to, this is going to be the big thing until people figure out how to kill it. I don't believe in the whole meta. I just think everybody gets so focused on, I got to have the most powerful list. And this is the powerful list because somebody told me so. Yeah, there's always going to be a guy like me or a guy like Uncle Mark who's going to be flying some janky-ass weird stuff that's just going to be out there going, oh, you weren't expecting us. Hi, let me drop something on you or let me hit you with the TLT.
Yeah,
or let me just do something weird.
Yeah, there's always some sort of counter. The trick is, can your counter get through everything else and beat that? And that's where that's where I've seen some people failing. Is that there's some people saying is like, okay, I'm gonna take a YV666 and load it up with Bosk and a whole bunch of stuff to guarantee crits and throw Boba Fett on there, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be awesome. And then one ace gets behind you. And you're done. It's like, so what are you going to do for that? So you really have to think is like, okay, I'm going to counter this thing, but I still got to be pretty good against everything else. And that's where I'm struggling to figure out my list.
If I'm trying to tech against like one player, like trying to tech against just like you, Chico, the silver bullets aren't going to get you to the field.
Right, and that's another reason why I don't mind talking about the list I'm going to bring, because if somebody's specifically teching against me, you've already lost because I'm not the meta.
Yeah.
So and like I'm bringing well, at least this is the last list I thought of. It was two Chemogilas and a Skurg, all loaded up with a crap ton of harpoons and other stuff. And the Skurg has Boba Fett sitting on him and is firing last. So hopefully I can drill away the shields and take away something.
Chico, that was my first list that I flew when that wave came out, remember?
Was it?
Yeah, I had Boba Fett sitting on Skurg with 2 Chemogia Executioners.
Nice.
And a Lock Revenant. Yeah.
I can't remember whether it was Crates or Scum and Villainy. They were talking about like magic, and there was one
Crates.
deck.
That was Crates.
Crates.
It would have been
the
Crates.
one deck that they tried to make the silver bullet against the one magic deck. But even that silver bullet only had success, a certain percentage of the time, and then it lost against all other lists. That's the problem of trying to make the silver bullet for the X-Wing list.
Look,
Yep.
I don't even. I'm to the point now with X-Wing. There's a lot of you guys. Quite a few guys know a guy in our area that is quite vocal on the forums, and I'm to the point now with X-Wing. It's like I don't really care what my opponent has. I honestly don't. If either I'm going to face something that's going to be really tough and really hard to beat, or I'm going to face something that's going to be really easy, I'm just going to fly my list the best way I know how to fly my list, because I'll be honest, I'm a damn decent pilot. I can drop bombs pretty much wherever I want. I can pretty much fly around any obstacle that's out there, just like every other pilot is. It just comes down to pilot skill. And what I mean by pilot skill is not the number on the card, but how well I'm flying my list, how well I can do what I need to do to get it done. And I think everybody's got a stinking chance. And yeah, you're going to have that one guy who gets uber lucky. Hopefully it's me. Okay. Am I expecting myself to go to the top 2 table? No, but I'll be that guy that everybody hates because, man, he really screwed up my whole thing I had going on. And I'm just going to be going, like that, because it's fun. It's a stinking game.
Yeah, and
Padre.
that's something that I ran into the conversation a couple times with Tyler on at Indy, and Tyler was super salty, and I get it. He's a really good player. He's flying his list that he has a crap ton of practice with, and he's like, you know what? Against these couple like high meta lists, I'm gonna crush them. I have the strategy, I have the experience. I'm gonna crush them. And then he didn't face any of those that day, and he faced a lot of these lists that he calls jank lists, and he was super salty over it, saying, why do I have to face these trash lists that people are bringing knowing they're not going to win the tournament? It's like, well, because people just want to have fun, Tyler. Calm down.
Yeah, I thought it was funny
remember
because me as a scrub player, my second tournament ever, my first major tournament, and I finished with the same win record as he did.
Yeah, and he's having a rough time these days, like especially with this meta, because like granted, up in the top, there's like 1 or 2 lists that are doing extremely well, and then there's like a half dozen lists that are sitting right below that. But once you crack that initial crust, like the spread of what people are playing is huge. And that's really hard to crack through. And like even when you talk to some of these people that are like, okay, I teched against lists X, Y, and Z, and I know how to beat them, you still have to deal with round 1 and probably round 2, where you could face anybody. Now, granted, if you all of a sudden go 3-0 or 4-0. You can probably go into your round going, I'm probably going to face one of these top meta lists, and I know what I'm doing against it. But when you're in those either those first couple matches, or you're not in the top like 25 percentile of the rankings at the time, you have a real gamble of it's a crapshoot of what you're going to face, and you may not have any plan against it. And some of these lists that one, you don't know the player you're going against, and two, you don't really understand the list you're going against. Some of those people are going to have great success simply because their opponent has no idea what's going on. Like we've got a local who's running Thweek and 3 Chemogilas right now. Yeah, and he's having really good success with it. One, because like he's a unique player, and if you don't know him, you're going to have a hard time no matter what he's flying. And two, his list is a little out there. Now it's got some things that people are like, okay, like he who shall not be named is, pretty good. And then, triple Chemogila is just going to, hammer it away. And just the way he flies it, you're not expecting it. You don't have a plan against it. So good luck.
Well,
yeah,
PGS is not going to do all that well, I think, because of where he's at right now in his head. He who shall not be named. He hates everybody, and everybody here in this area is pretty much ready to kill him.
Well, I was saying he who shall not be named is Thweek, but
okay.
yeah, him too.
Drake.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, that was kind of my, like, going into regionals, Ghost Finn. I was like, with my list, I was like, I don't think I have a decent chance against it. I'm just going to plan that I'm going to lose like a game round 2, and I'm never going to see a Ghost Finn. But I ended up running to Ghost Finn round 4, and I beat it pretty handily because the player was, sorry, dude, you did not know how to maneuver Fenn, and you gave me Fenn on a plate, and I killed him round 1 of shooting.
Man, he must have been flying Fenn exactly how I was, because that's what I did. I flew so bad with Fenn, so incredibly bad, and ended 4-2.
Maybe it was because I have two PS11s with missiles, and I'm moving after Fenn.
That'll do
it.
Yeah,
but I still think you could have moved Fenn better than what he did.
I just want to throw out there that I really appreciate having everybody on. I know it was kind of a shorter town hall where we could have just a little bit fewer guests on, and really glad we got some new people on and some familiar faces.
Heck, I'm just surprised you let me in.
No, that's you were in on the
Too much alcohol.
That's because Coach was drunk. That's how I got in.
But it's getting really late, and we could sit here and BS about X-Wing all night long. I know we could, and that's what we got the groupies page for. Yeah, I've been.
It's only like 3 p.m. What are you talking about?
You're a monster. He's got like 8 more hours to go.
Yeah, I hear you, Kyle. It is bedtime. It's already 12:30 for me.
Yeah, so it's getting to that wee hours of the night to where people need some sleep because they got little monsters and all that kind of stuff to deal with. And let's go with some shout outs, make them real quick. That way we can end the show and we can all do a yub nub.
All right. Well, let me just say a shout out to everybody here at OCX. You guys have made me feel really comfortable and welcome, and you guys are fantastic. I just appreciate what you guys are doing for X-Wing and just being common everyday guys. It's just good to know that there's guys like me who are still playing and having a fun time going pew 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 with each other.
It's all about the pew pews.
I will second Padres' shout out. heck, I had never really talked to any of you guys before meeting you guys at Indy, and you made me feel really welcome. And invited me into the groupies chat thread and to the drafts and everything. It's been really great. I guess my second shout out would be just all my opponents I faced at regionals. You guys were great. You really made me love the game even more than I already did. It was a grand time. I'll do it again.
Right on. What about you, Mr. 3PMer? You got any shout outs?
My first shout out would be the coach for making the right call today. And my second one would be a shameless plug for my own podcast, Renegade Squadron. You should give it a listen. Actually, don't listen to the last one because it's just me being angry and ranting for an hour. Yeah.
So Kessel Run?
I'm only about 20 minutes into the last Kessel Run, so I haven't heard all of that one yet. But
oh my
it was
gosh,
recorded just after the worst
of
week of X-Wing.
Just angry.
Oh man.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I only just finished the crates. That was about 2.5 hours, and I really wish I didn't bother.
Oh, it's worse. Like, take away the humor that crates have and the banter back and forth.
Yeah, I kind of
exactly what Kessel Run was.
I kind of enjoyed crates.
Oh, right.
I always do.
Maybe I won't bother then.
They're wrong.
Oh, Jesus.
All right,
yeah,
now
I do too.
Now you've
I'm not
overstayed
getting
your welcome and can get out. Just kidding, Steven. Just kidding. Oh.
I would like to shout out.
I was going to call you out.
Mark
You
shout out.
Buttered Bard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to skip right over me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. We have a term for lieutenants, and it's called butter bars. And,
Oh, Jesus.
LT.
Yep. So it's that butter bard for your little bastard catch.
No, I just wanted to echo Uncle Mark's shout out to the campaign against cancer. It's coming up soon. For those who may not know what the website is, it's twinsonscharities.org. But especially any group that's helping to contribute towards research for cancer, that's always got a special place in my life. So I've lost some family to that, so I appreciate everything they do. And I'm glad this community can help support it.
I'll piggyback on the back of that one because that was going to be my shout out. I'm part of the board that helps run it. So come on out. If you're a newer player, I definitely recommend it because it's a little bit of a different format. We run 3 rounds before lunch. We split everybody up into pods of 8, and you run 3 rounds in your pod. So it's like a 3-round 8-man tournament. That's it. And then after lunch, you get reseeded into new pods based on how well you did on in your other matches. So if you were the guy who went 3-0, you're going to be put in a group with all the other 3-0s. If you went 0-3, you're going to be put in a group with all the 0-3s. And then in that pod, you have another group of 8 people, and you play another set of 3 rounds, and you have a new chance of the best person in each pod then gets prizes. All the people in the top pod get prizes, and then there's extra prizes for other stuff, and then there's a whole crap ton of raffle prizes. People have donated entire collections to get painted that get sent out to all the locations. So definitely recommend it. There's awesome artwork for the people who do the actual artwork for Fantasy Flight. They donate a whole bunch of prints. So definitely worth checking it out. It's a great time. I promise you'll go home with something. So check it out. And then my other shout out I wanted to give is to all the guys who threw something at the Patreon. I know Montana is super stoked about it because he has he has things that he puts his own money to for this group of us to sit around and shoot the shit. So like I've always appreciated what he does for the group, and I'm glad that we can give something back to him at least to start, and then we can use everything that's left over to throw back at you guys and make what we do better. So thank you guys.
Yeah. And
I feel bad because I totally forgot to do that.
Son of a bitch.
Get out. Get out. Yep, you've also overstayed your welcome. Get out.
Does it count with Australian dollars?
Hey. They're not that bad.
They're not that good.
Oh, man.
I feel like we should shout out Patrick too, because he's like the only one left in the actual chat on YouTube.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Holy crap, he is.
Oh, man.
Him and maybe Pinto?
Yeah. So I also want to piggyback on what Chico said and give a great thanks to all the people who are supporting us through the Patreon. I never thought I would see the day that we were gonna start seeing some reimbursement as far as like time wise goes, and like the work goes into talking to everybody and putting on the show and refunding Montana for what he puts into paying for this to happen. So I really, really want to thank you guys. Also, again, to the listeners, I know I said it last time. I don't think we've done it enough. I can't believe there's enough people that think it's cool enough to sit around and bullshit with a bunch of X-Wing players and talk X-Wing and get on the podcast with us. I just, from some little town in the middle of nowhere in my basement, and thanks. I mean, thank you for listening. Thanks for the feedback. It really makes my day. I really enjoy listening to everything that everybody says in the Groupies podcast and chat. And
as a scrub, damn, it's a lot of fun, Kyle.
we just try to get a giant collective of people and simulate them all into OCX, and that way we have the mass.
There we go. Slowly take over.
Oh,
I might get my shirt in a month or two.
Thanks for letting us be a part of something bigger than just ourselves.
It's smaller than the damn Reddit thread.
This has gotten too wholesome. On to the yum-nubs.
Bring on the yum-nubs.
All right, yum-nub, boys. Yum-nub.
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 Ooh-la-loo!
Well, do we end
catch.
it in a toast?
Every week.
Show me the way to the yum-nubs.
That's what we need now. We need Ugandan Ewoks.
Oh,
You know the way?
Do you know the way?
I know the way. Show me the way.
They have spears
where's the
already.
queen?
No.
Padme.
Yeah. Look, the goldenrod.
Is she the queen? Is Padme the queen?
Oh.
Crap.
Oh man.
Guys, it's been a great night. Thanks much. I'm getting out of here. I got to go to bed.
Night, Rev.
Yeah, I'm not too far behind you.
All right. Have a good one.
I'm stopping the YouTube live.
Yes.
So.